we're rolling up Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body.
But yeah, that's that.
It's just too hot out for my Jameson today, man. Like,
Yeah. So we've got hurricane just hit California. We have well, not just this weekend hit California, flooding out fucking California. And 2 weeks ago, Hawaii was very much on fire. And then now South Texas is getting hit with a quote unquote hurricane. It's like a
Sharknado.
It's a little bitch ass hurricane. Fucking Harold. Fuck you, Harold. You're a piece of shit. You're not even sending any rain our way.
South Texas getting hit by a Sharknado.
Yeah. So South Texas is definitely getting hit by a lot of fucking rain right now. But hopefully they won't catch as much fire as we have been up here. There was a 60 acre fire not that far away from here just yesterday, and there's constant side of the road fires. And because there's construction everywhere where they're fucking clearing out shit, there's just piles of downed trees, like just waiting to fucking be burned, but they legally can't do it right now. And then that shit goes up, no pun intended, like kindling. Anytime.
That's literally what it is.
I know.
It's dry wood.
That's why it goes up that way. It's literally it. It goes up as though it is kindling. Yes. And I think that was
it's weird. That match lit on fire like it was a match.
Strange. It's like it lit so easily. It's like it was a match. But no, it's been a fucking problem. In theory, we could get about, a little spooge, a little of rain later. According to the weather, sometime around 2, it looks like we might get a little bit of it's like it's spitting on us a little bit, but it ain't gonna be enough to even fucking wet the ground. It's gonna fucking evaporate. It's not like absurdly hot right now. I think it's like 98 at the moment. It'll get up to like 102. But if it rains,
it's not as bad as it was last week. But then we got rain the tail end of last week for like 2 days, and now it's just muggy again. But the temperature is almost 20 degrees cooler. It's just nasty because it's muggy again.
I mean, I'll take a 20-degree drop with humidity.
Nope.
I will.
Nope. Because that other heat was just a dry heat. It didn't even phase me, dude. I was like, man, it's just kind of warm out here.
Yeah, I'm gonna pause for just a second because I have to adjust something. Okay. So I had the settings still for live stream instead of recording, so I just went and unclicked some things. So wait, because for my live stream settings, it wants to put everything out on a single channel, so I have to have all the different things selected for that one channel. But if I do that here, that means that all of our audio goes onto one channel, and I can't do any separate editing. So that first 5 minutes is going to be all on one channel. Oh well, I don't give a shit.
I didn't say much, so it's fine.
It doesn't matter. I'm not that worried about it. But either way.
Are we unpausing now?
Yeah, we already unpaused.
So you paused to do it and then unpaused to talk about doing it?
Yeah. It makes sense. This is behind the scenes.
That fucking heat's getting to your brain.
Dude, well, no, it's not the heat. It's the contrast from yesterday. So either way, guys, welcome back to the Now You Made It Awkward podcast, episode 66. I am Shoki, and you can follow me at all these Shoki-related things in the description down below. And with me today, I do have, as always, the Rikki.
What up, yo? That's it. It's just mine and your links. Everybody else's goes bye-bye.
Nobody gets links. No one gets links today. That's going to be the new rule. If you're not here, no links for you.
No fucking links for you.
Yeah, that's it. Nobody gets links except for me and Rikki today.
We put Sean's links back on there
just for one day. Just for one day when he occasionally posts on Facebook.
Rusty and Mike will be like, "What the fuck? Yeah. Why are my links not up there?" I'll be like, "Well, Sean's are."
Yeah, Sean's quarterly Facebook post. So either way, guys, make sure you do that like and subscribe thing to the channel or wherever it is you're listening to this podcast. Rate us, follow us, all that kind of good shit. And of course, if you want to help support all of my channels and this one. I know this is one of my channels, but, it does do a separate thing. You can do so at the Patreon. In fact, you could choose to specifically sponsor this and not all my other shit if you wanted to. If you wanted to be cool like that, so I could afford to.
Or you can sponsor all his other shit and not this too. Whatever the fuck.
I mean, you could literally try to break it all down. The only thing is, like, there's just my Shoki stuff. Then there's just this. Then there's just the streaming, and then there's a combination of streaming and this, and then there's everything. Because I figure some people just don't care about the reviews, So if they want to do the live streams and the podcasts, that kind of stuff. And also, guys, if you'd like to write into the show, much like last week Jay did, you could do so at nowyoumade.awkwardmail@gmail.com, which is in the description down below. That's where all that fucking info is. You can email us questions,
right
comments.
below our links. Just our links.
Actually, it's above. It's above the links.
Whatever. I don't fucking care. Like, I pay attention to any of that shit. My links could have never been on there. I'd have never known.
Yeah, you don't even care either way. Because, actually...
None of it's my shit. I'm always on somebody else's shit, so I don't care.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point, though, because I forgot to mention what you do, because you do make the... Oops, I'm bumping my fucking mic around. You do make the promos for Nerd Rage Radio on Facebook, and then every other Friday night, you're on the Realm of Collectors YouTube channel around about 9 p.m. for the Realm Hatton Project.
Yep.
So that'll be an
and
episode
then I'm on
this
here
week or next week?
Mostly. Actually, it was supposed to be this week, but it's not happening because of BotCon.
Because of BotCon. Yeah, so shout out to everybody who gets to go to BotCon, because I don't get to.
Guess who just scheduled it on Sunday?
Oh,
I just squeaked into this motherfucker Sunday.
Wow.
I ordered my tickets.
Damn.
So I'm going up Thursday, and I'll be there till Sunday.
So no episode this next week.
Yeah, on Monday.
I'm just fucking around.
We can record Monday because I had the other lady. I asked her to pick up my Monday, so that way I don't have to rush right
recover.
Back.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't even recovery. Last time my plane got delayed because of weather, and I didn't get home till midnight. And I was supposed to be up at 5 to go to work. I was dead on my feet all day.
Is it New Jersey?
Yep.
Okay, I couldn't remember where it was. Well, I did get
Rutherford, New Jersey.
I did get the shipping notification for my rock box. I know he hasn't dropped them off yet, but he definitely I did get the shipping notification.
Yeah. You're not dropping them until after the show.
That's crap. We should send them out so that everybody can open them together somehow. Just time it exactly
right. Bullshit, and everybody will be bitching about, I got mine early. Somebody will get one early, open it, spoil the whole fucking surprise for everybody. Yeah, no thank you.
It's okay. I'll be okay with it. I just want to know what it is.
I'm not.
I'm just anticipation. Yeah.
It's a paper bag with rubber dog poo in it.
That makes a lot of sense, considering how much it costs. Yeah, it might be real dog poo. They might have actually raised dogs specifically for it.
It's
just to harvest the poop.
Each of the Realm cast members,
animals.
We all contributed.
No, it's from all of your animals.
Yeah,
dog poop, cat poop, whatever.
Big old one in there for y'all.
You got some Luna poop mixed in there with some Loki poop.
Harley anxiety poop.
I'm throwing Dust's new cat in there.
Yeah.
Which I didn't even know he had a new cat. He just suddenly appeared back in my feed again. I was like, oh, we got a new cat. Okay.
Somebody just told on themselves for not watching ETR. He's been talking about that cat for like the last 2-3 weeks. On ETR.
I'm usually busy on Mondays. I'm usually busy on Mondays. That's why I never see.
The great thing about YouTube videos is you watch it the next day.
Yeah, that's why you always go back and watch ours, right?
Wow. I don't need to watch ours. I'm on them.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me tell you how many Realm Hatton Project videos I've watched.
Yeah, I can tell you how many I've watched.
Yeah.
One.
I've watched
one, and that's where you mentioned me.
I've watched 2, and that's because we were going back to check something.
Yeah. I'm sitting here and I'm just checking the audio while I'm looking over here. Because I keep getting distracted by the screen. Because normally when I'm live streaming, I'm sitting like this, staring at this screen over here. For the patrons who are watching this, hi patrons, you can see me staring off to the side.
I'm just playing hi patrons.
Yes. I'm still trying to work out on when or if, I should say, Laura's son's going to come on. I sent him a link to give it a listen. Like, he definitely, just talking with him for a few minutes, he's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure our hobbies and stuff align, like, in interest, like, all the nerd content and shit like that. So,
cool.
Yeah, so I think he's on board. I've just got to get with him. I don't know what his schedule is. And this past weekend, I was pretty busy with doctor visits and all kinds of other shit and trying to be good. And I was really pissed off because, like, basically I had to go yesterday on Monday. I had to go in for a CT scan, so I had to be pretty good this weekend just to make sure I didn't make my condition any worse. And for those who don't know, I have been dealing with pain in my left side, round about my left rib area, for about 3 weeks now. And I noticed that my abdomen on that side has been swelling. So that was kind of alarming. I could just deal with normal pain, and I felt like I pulled a muscle, like, the fine muscles in between your ribs.
That like kind of hernia or something?
Yeah, yeah. That's what it felt like. And then all of a sudden stuff started swelling, like, and visibly so. Like, I told Jessica to look at me and see what was going on. And so my right side curves in, my left side curves out. So I'm actually bulging a little bit to my left side, so to speak.
You're full of shit on your left side.
Surprisingly not. That is definitely not a problem because I had Taco Bell for lunch yesterday.
Oh God, you're empty as a fucking blonde memory banks.
Exactly. So I had blood work done on Friday, which apparently everything was fine. I thought basically I'd had like sodium overload and was like just basically storing water.
Salt.
Salt
water.
Yeah, so like I had because I apparently kind of addicted to liquid IVs, and I think you're only supposed to technically do one a day, and I was doing upwards of 3 a day.
I don't know what a liquid IV is.
I
know what a liquid IV is, but I'm assuming that's not what you mean.
No, it's an additive for water, which basically replaces sports drinks and whatnot. So it's got everything in there to help you retain water in hot weather, or if you're out there sweating your balls off. But I noticed that when I did a little research Friday night, I was like, actually it was Thursday night. I noticed, I was like, oh, you're not supposed to drink as much of this as I've been doing, so that's probably bad. Then I also noticed that like at work, I haven't been sweating as much as you think I would be, considering it's 120 degrees outside. Or it's evaporating so quickly that I don't even get cooled off. And then I also noticed that considering I'm drinking upwards of 3 to 4 liters of water while at work.
What the fuck's a liter?
It's the size of cola, so if you take that one big bottle of cola, you cut that in half, that's a liter.
You mean the gallon?
No, the 2 liters. The 2 liter bottles of soda?
No, yeah. I don't know what these things.
Yeah, I think you do.
American.
I think you do know.
1 liter. I know what a 20 ounce is.
1 liter. It's half a Jameson bottle.
Is it?
Actually, I think it's about 3/4 of a Jameson bottle, to be fair, but either way,
depends on which Jameson bottle you got.
Well, your Jameson bottle.
You don't know what Jameson bottles like. I got them all.
I actually think you tend to go for the 1.5s. Either way,
I go for the big ones.
Yeah. So either way, the point is, I'm drinking like a buttload of water and then putting this stuff in there that basically makes you not lose water at a degree that I probably should not have been doing. But my blood work didn't seem to reflect that, because I think they would have immediately pointed out an incredibly high sodium or potassium or magnesium, because those 3 things are usually good for helping you retain water and whatnot. Whatever electrolytes help you do that, So they didn't report anything wrong with my blood work, which is funny because I was on my way to go prep for my CT scan when they gave me the call. I was like, oh, good. That's nice. Nothing wrong with me. But what's wrong with me then? Isn't that always the part where it's like they immediately go looking for things, can't find anything, and there's something clearly still wrong with you. And all they gave me was basically anti-inflammatory for the pain. And yeah, it's always good when your doctor looks mildly confused yet concerned whenever you're describing your condition. That's always fun, right? So after just dealing with Jessica having COVID for about 5 minutes, then now I've got these issues, and now her back is acting up again. So where she's going to have to go get an injection in her spine again. So fucking fun. And it's hot as balls. So either way, CT scan went fine yesterday. I have no idea about the results yet. I don't know how long that generally takes.
Did you have a cat inside you?
No, because it was not a CAT scan. It was a CT scan. They removed the A. They did make me take my pants off, but that's just,
That's not part of the process. You were molested.
Yeah, no. I'm pretty sure that was so it didn't look like there was a zipper from my belly button to my nutsack. They just installed that.
No. That wasn't even a real doctor. That was the janitor.
Yeah, actually, the guy who did my IV was a fireman. Who just happened to do that on the side. It's like, he did a pretty good job. Like, didn't even blow out the vein like the lady at the hospital did. Like when I was in the hospital for those few days and they put the IV and they fucking definitely stabbed around too much and blew out the vein. This guy, like, not only have any bruising. I think he actually went in where they drew blood on Friday, which is hilarious. They just like, oh hey, I'll just go right there, same hole.
That's how mine is. Like when I donate blood, because I have that O blood that everybody can use except for ABs.
Yeah.
So I'll donate that in plasma from time to time. Yeah. I have a freckle. Like
right where it is, basically a scar.
The crease on my arm, and all they got to do is slide right underneath that freckle. Like you can see the scar from all the needles going in there. They just slide right in there and they'll hit the vein all day, every day. It's like a big, like they love, like when they do the test, they're like, "Holy shit!" I'm like, "I told you."
Yeah, it's a good one. It's the main vein. Got to drain the main vein.
They better not put no needles in that motherfucker.
Yeah, we better hope not.
I've gotten 2 Jacob ladders. I'm good.
Just 2.
Just 2. One going up and one going down.
I was gonna say the crisscrossing.
Just like in the Bible, one's going up and one's going down.
Oh dear God! Do not Google what a Jacob's ladder is.
It's in the Bible.
Yeah, sort of. It's also in Boy Scouts too. So and probably a little too much in Boy Scouts, if we're honest. Probably. Okay, so weird side note. So I wasn't.
I don't want that segue.
No.
That's going to say side note to being molested in a Christian organization.
No, as far as I know, nobody in my troop was ever molested by anybody. At least while I was there. Later on, I don't know, because there was some stuff that happened with our old scoutmaster apparently. But anyway, what I was getting at was, I was reminded the other day because I was driving to my mom's house, and I drove past where we used to have our old Boy Scout meetings. Like, when we brought all of the dens together, when we did the full-on troop meeting, it was always at this community center that was pretty much the center of our community, which, weird that they would call it that. And I remember that place always smelled like fucking raw gas, like natural gas. It's like it always had that like propane-y natural gas smell inside. And I was just thinking, it's like, we used to sit in here for like 2 or 3 hours, or however long those fucking meetings were, and the windows were never fucking open.
It explains your mental ridiculousness. You've been huffing fucking gas the whole childhood.
I never thought about that. It was like, and we spent a lot of time there. I mean, I was in Boy Scouts, I think, for like 4 or 5 years or something. Like elementary through middle school. I never made it to Boy Scouts proper, because too much stuff going on, and that went to the wayside. But yeah, that reminded me of when I drove past it the other. It's still fucking there, even though it's all boarded up. I'm like, oh, it's a good thing you just have this building here for fucking ever and doing nothing with it.
Holding all the gas in right now.
Yeah, I was just thinking the other day it could explode.
Holding the natural gas in.
Yeah. But yeah,
just drive by and put matches at it whenever you drive by.
No, that's to put your ass in jail right now if you do that, or as they should, anyways, probably. Considering all the fires. And I posted something yesterday, and good old Beansy had to reply to it, and I thought it was funny. I basically said, it's like, fuck a citation. If you know people are out there burning right now, considering how dry this weather is, it's like, fucking lock them up for the weekend. It's like, if you're just driving drunk and don't kill anybody, you go to jail for a couple days, but you burn down half the fucking county and all you get is a citation, fuck off. It's like, no, put them in jail. They'll learn. It's like, just 2 days. Like, 2 days, maybe 3, depending on how big a fire they started. But, like, at some point, it's becoming accidental arson, right? It's like, you started the fire. You didn't mean to burn down the entire neighborhood, but you did. At some point, there needs to be a slightly greater punishment. I mean, unless the citation is, like, way bigger than I would think. I'm assuming it's only, like, $80 or some bullshit, But, yeah, we definitely need rain here. At least you guys are getting some rain. We're not getting.
No, we didn't know. We got rain last week for like 2 days.
I think like 3 weeks ago you got rain for a couple days too. So you've gotten more rain than we've gotten in the last month and a half.
Well, considering I live in and
you have a pool
state surrounded by fucking water, that pool is disgusting, dude. I went and got in there with the kids the other day, and that shit was like a fucking sauna.
Yeah,
I was like, no, thank you.
Well, it's more like a hot tub.
Whatever. Either way, it didn't feel cooling jumping in. It felt like I jumped in hot water. It was just slightly less than the air around.
Just throw some ice in it before you get in.
Probably wouldn't make it past the surface.
Just throw some bags of ice into it.
Just dump some ice in my pants and then jump in.
That might suck. Because then all that ice is going up your butt.
And it's going to crack.
Yeah.
I mean,
freeze your balls.
It's so blue, though. It's like, oh my God, you just want to jump in that motherfucker. It's so blue.
Yeah. Well,
busting my ass getting it already. Now it's too fucking hard to use.
Yeah, that's the part that does suck. Like in our old pool, when it was still functional, it was completely uncovered, like most of its existence. So even if you're out there, you're in the fucking sun the entire time, and it gets hot.
What's this?
And this? Well, I know, but I'm saying like you've got some.
The screen just keeps bugs and leaves out. It don't keep the sun out. How the fuck do you think screen ports work, dude? It's not like reflecting.
Better than nothing. Screen ports work better than nothing.
It does not break up the sun at all.
It does. It absolutely does. Because you can see. Hold on. If you look over there, the shade of your fucking screen is darker than it is outside. Go look. Turn the camera on. Turn the camera around. Go look. Turn the camera around.
It's overcast right now. Like the
Oh,
sun's not
it's
even out
overcast.
right
I can't prove you right, Shoki. It's overcast right now.
now. And like, look, everything is just kind of dark right now. Literally, the sun just went behind.
Well, now
clouds.
it's perfect time to swim.
Yeah, but instead, I'm on here fucking talking to you guys.
Yeah. Well, like at least you've got was that concrete pretty much around it or whatever.
Yeah, it's concrete around it.
Yeah,
that doesn't help. That just gets hot.
No. What I was getting at was like we didn't have like concrete or a wooden deck or whatever. We had fucking metal. No, we had fucking metal tiles that were.
What does that?
It came with the pool. It's the way it was, but they were supposed to be somewhat heat resistant. They sure as fuck weren't. And then
That's not how metal works.
No, but we fell for this fucking idea, and we never bothered to fix it. I don't know why we never didn't. Well, like we built a deck aside the pool, with shade and a fucking changing room and stuff like that, but never bothered to replace that fucking metal everything with just a regular fucking deck, which would have made sense. And now it just sits there rotting.
We might get rain. I see some gray clouds over there.
Lucky you.
Oh, here comes the sun again. Never mind.
Yeah, you said something. You fucking said something. Either way.
Well, it's Florida. I've seen it. That old song that CCR. Have you ever seen the rain coming down on a sunny day? That's a southern thing. There won't be a cloud in this fucking sky and be bright as fuck, hot as hell, and also just start dumping rain.
Yeah, because the cloud that's dropping it is way over there behind your head, and you can't fucking see it. I've been driving down the freeway, and it was raining on half the freeway. And it was sunny on the other half.
Front porch and watch it dump on my neighbor across the street's house, and not a drop of water on my side of the road.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. Weather's fucking strange like that. Well, that's like when we were coming back from Maryland, and we could see rain on either side of us. We were just driving through a weird narrow channel of no rain. It's like storm. Just stay on the freeway because it's not raining right here because it's torrential downpour on either side. You don't want to be in either one. Until it eventually got us, but now I'm just jealous of rain. I just want some.
Everybody's grass is always green on the other side. Then you start getting rain. Like, God damn, I wish it would stop raining.
No, the grass is always greener because it's getting some rain, or they spray painted that shit.
Yeah, my shit was fucking browned out last week, dude. All my grass was dying. Now it's starting to pop back a little.
Yeah, that's basically what's happening here. Is like they're.
I don't water shit. Like my neighbor, he runs his water sprinklers and all that shit. I mean, don't get me wrong, his yard looks amazing, but my green thumb extends to this. I see it. It's out there. Now it's nature's problem. I'm not doing nothing. I don't go out there and weed eat. I don't go out there and do none of that shit. My aunt gave me a poinsettia a few years ago because it was my grandmother's favorite flower. She was a December baby, and it was like the anniversary of her death, and my aunt gave me one. I went and dug a front hole in my little patch, like the flower bed thing right outside the front house, dropped that bad boy in there, and haven't looked back, man, and it still grows out every year.
Impressive. Well, I think gardening
but
thing
it doesn't do anything. Like, it never gets cold enough for it to turn red here, so it's always green.
Yeah, pretty pointless plant in the south.
Yeah, it dies. It dies every year. Like, it goes down to just the branches, like with nothing on it, where I think it's dead. And then in our winter time, it pops back and has green leaves and green flowers all over it. It never turns red. It doesn't get cold enough. If I had a little bit of like grenadine or something, and add a little bit more whiskey, this basically would be a fucking whiskey sunrise.
Yeah, it's not bad though. I don't usually like pineapple, but the whiskey.
Never had a whiskey sunrise. I've heard of a tequila sunrise.
Yeah, same difference. You just swap the liquor.
No, I'm talking about by the Eagles.
Oh yeah.
It's a tequila sunrise.
My guitar had a tobacco sunrise finish on it.
Oh yeah, I know what that is.
Back in the day, back when I still had one. Okay, so
mine's up in the garage somewhere. I had to dig that out one day.
All right, so it's been a couple of weeks since we actually caught up on watching stuff and getting stuff, so much to do. I have completed my collection of the Power Ranger stuff that I was after, the Japanese Power Ranger stuff. So now I can finally do the review that people said they wanted me to do. And also now I have an idea of how they all work. When I was doing the out the boxes, I kind of flubbed a lot of it. So I look like an idiot, but that's why I was having fun. I also picked up 2 of these guys. I don't know if you can see or not.
Yeah, the Ronin.
Yeah, this is the
last Ronin.
Yeah, the last Ronin Sinja. So I got one.
Oh, it's the ninja guys.
Yeah, so I got one before, and I reviewed it, and I'm like, okay, I need more than one. So
army builder.
Yeah, don't have to do a full on army build, but it's like having one Foot Clan ninja. It's like that's fucking stupid. You get 2. at least.
I've got, I was gonna say I got more than that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do too, but I mean, like in this case, I don't need to go as full blown as I did with my movie shelf. But if I'm gonna get the whole set, then I got to get like everything.
Shit, the movie turtles, I have.
Oh, I've got like
4 or 5.
8.
I got like 4 or 5 of them. I didn't go that crazy. I got like 4 or 5.
Maybe I don't have 8. Well, because remember they came out individually, so they came out individually, and then they came out in 2-packs.
No, I got the 2-packs. I got the ones where it was like one of them came with like Shredder, and one of them came with somebody else, or one came with a turtle, like something like that. And then there was a 2-pack of them if you wanted to get that weapon stand that came in the SDCC thing. That's what I got. I got the 2-pack and then 2 individual.
The original SDCC set came with Shredder and I think 2. And the thing.
Splinter.
And Splinter. And then later on, they sold them individually. I don't think they ever sold them with anybody.
Might be. I got 2 individuals and then the 2-pack.
Yeah. The only one I could think of. Nope. That was because I was trying to think if it was with Casey Jones, but no. Casey Jones came by himself with Raphael or with April. So
I got the one that came with the trench coated Raph.
Yeah, trench coat Raph. So I've got all those, but I've got a few of those foot soldiers because I bought a bunch of those 2-packs too.
But then the animated ones, I probably got like 6 or 7 of them.
Yeah, and the comic book ones are out now, both the regular comic and Mirage comic ones.
I don't do the comic stuff.
Excuse me. But also, they're like, so these guys didn't replace the Foot Clan. They're just another robotic
version
army. No, because there are new updated Foot Clan robots in that comic. That figure's coming as well. So I've already got that on pre-order too, along with.
Well, the Foot Clan robot things that happened because of the cartoon.
Oh yeah, I know. That was because they didn't want to show violence against humans. Yeah.
In the original comics, they were humans.
And that's why it was okay for them to beat up on mutants. That's why everybody became a mutant instead of fighting just...
And that's why the Turtles couldn't use weapons in the live-action movies, because they were
the first one. After the first one. Yeah, that's what happened in the second one. That's why Mikey basically lost his nunchucks because kids were hurting themselves. He's a salami, which was actually funny in my mind. But that's why Leo throws his swords into the ceiling and then kicks the shit out of people instead. I still say that one of the accessory sets for movie 2 should have come with the fucking clown thingy that rocked back and forth because they did come with the wiffle bat.
Are you talking about the one that you could hit and never knock over?
Yeah, that because Donnie was messing with it and then he used it to distract the foot. Was it the Foot guys? I guess they were Foot Clan members. Yeah, they were Foot Clan members. Yeah.
They're teenage whippersnapper hooligans.
Yes, they were. Yeah, they weren't full on trained ones. Yeah, they were the Lost Boys. But non-vampire versions. I still haven't opened up my Samurai Turtles or my Kino yet, just because I've been doing so many other things and or being sick.
I saw your video where you opened the box Kino King.
Yes, so I did that. I just haven't actually opened them and looked at them yet, because also don't know where I'm going to put them after I open them, because I don't have a shelf available for them at the moment. I've got a gap down there.
Samurai Turtles. I'm so mad I missed those.
You're either going to have to buy that set. I would say wait if you don't want all the extra bullshit. Like, if you don't feel like getting 3 of those fucking time thingies.
You don't need 3. You only need 1.
Yeah. Well, at least 2, because they're the one in the past. Yeah. But they came with 3. I don't know why it came with 3, because I'm pretty sure there's only 2 in the movie, but I could be wrong.
Because I think all the toys back in the day came with 1.
Oh, one might be for the toy version. Because one's the broken version, one's the perfect version. But one of them doesn't even look like the other 2. Like, one of them's not ornate in any way. So I don't know what that one's all about. Maybe if I actually open it up and look at it, I would know.
I have to watch the movie again. I haven't watched that movie in a bazillion years.
I'm good.
I used to love that. It's so bad, but I loved it. When I was a kid, man, those turtle movies were the jam, dude.
So, here's a story on how I ended up with that particular movie. My little cousin, Michael, who we share a birthday, but he's about 2 years younger than me. He borrowed, I forget which movie of mine. He borrowed a movie of mine, and I say borrowed, and fucking wrecked it. Destroyed. I don't know how he fucking destroyed that tape, but he did. This kid didn't take care of anything. He was spoiled as fuck. I was spoiled, but I took care of my shit. He was spoiled and destroyed everything. His parents just bought him whatever just to shut him up, and he would fucking destroy it. But he destroyed one of my tapes, and I don't remember exactly what he destroyed. But I know that I requested a very specific movie to replace it, and I believe it was Mask of the Phantasm, because it was that year. So I wanted Batman animated series Mask of the Phantasm. But my aunt, I guess, couldn't find that, so she ended up buying me Ninja Turtles 3 instead.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because that's the same.
Well, I mean, I was given the choice. Basically, look, I'm going to replace your movie. What do you want? So that's why I've never fully seen Mask of the Phantasm. And it's also why... Yeah, I still have never seen the whole movie.
You have no excuse. It's on streaming and everything now.
Dude, you know how I am. If I miss it, sometimes I just don't bother. I'm not fucking 10 anymore.
So? I watched the animated series last week.
Yes, but you're obsessed.
I'm not obsessed. A fan.
Obsessed. I've seen how many Batmans you have. Well,
No,
I've seen a little bit of how many Batmans you have.
You haven't seen a quarter of the Batmans I have.
Speaking of, mine just came in at BBTS. My Batman statue.
Which Batman?
The animated series statue that I ordered. So I'll ship that soon. And dude, I had the thought. I was about to ship my fucking Star Saber that's sitting there, and I was like, no, wait. Sure enough, next day. Good thing I didn't ship that shit, because I put those.
Oh no, you'd have had to ship them separate from each other.
Well, because they're both going to be sizable boxes, but at least they'll be put into one large box if I ship them together. So,
but I never understood everybody flipping out about I'll ship my shit and then of course something else showed up. Well, ship it again. It's still free. That's the reason why you fucking did it.
In theory, it's not free. It's $4.
Oh God, not $4.
Actually, I don't even do the $4 shipping anymore.
Hinging on you being able to spend $4 to ship your shit or not, you should not be fucking collecting figures.
Actually, given the size and weight of the statue, I'll do the $4 shipping.
I never do the $4 shipping. I always do that FedEx ground one or whatever, one where it's like $7 plus the weight of the thing.
I mean, if it's normal, if it's normal stuff, I agree with you. That's what I would usually do. FedEx or UPS
statues, so
if you're buying like that He-Man, that box was so fucking huge and weighed so much, dude. I definitely did that. But whenever I got either of my sets of Thundercat statues, I fucking shipped those all at once, and I did the $4 shipping, because that's when it matters. It's like when you've got roughly 70 pounds worth of shit, and it's going to have to be in a huge box. You don't want to pay for that. That's going to be like $45 shipping just from
the only time
Pennsylvania.
I do the $4 shipping is when I'm pre-ordering. Sometimes I'll forget to change that shipping thing when I'm ordering it, and then I'm stuck with it because BBTS doesn't give you the option to change it once it comes in. Once it comes in, you're stuck with whatever you pre-ordered.
Yeah. Well, my default is pile of loot, so I don't have to worry about it. Like,
I never use the pile of loot. Well, you got my money. I want my fucking stuff.
Well, because
I do not fuck around pile of loot.
Well, see, that's why you also don't care about shipping or paying the shipping that every time. I am a poor, so therefore I have to fucking save money somehow. It's $150 statue that weighs a bunch. I'm gonna go ahead and ship that for $4. But I'm going to ship it with my Star Saber.
You just bought a $150 statue. That's $7 really putting you out at that point.
Well, no, it's not $7 anymore. If you can get actual shipping for $7, that's outside of a post office fucking envelope, I'd be impressed at this point.
Well, it is.
Everything has gone up.
The FedEx one, it's a flat rate.
It's 11 cents a pound. It was like $11.49. Dude, I ship with them all the fucking time. Well, you also live slightly closer. You live slightly closer to them.
You live closer than I do. They ship from Missouri.
We'd have to do the actual distance math.
They ship from Missouri, dude.
Because mine is never less. Mine is never less than like $11.79.
Well, that's because they go by poundage too.
It don't matter. The base box. I've never paid that little.
Flat rate is $7 something, and then it's 32 cents a pound or some shit from that shit.
Yeah, but it's not always about weight. It's about dimensionality, because they have a minimum size box.
Not on their thing.
Yes, it is. That's how it works. That's how shipping functions.
That's not how it works on their thing.
Yeah, they don't tell you about how it works behind the fucking scenes. That's how it works. But because they ship in bulk so much, that's why the shit comes across as cheaper, because they just offload it elsewhere. But it's dimensionality and weight, because if I ship a figure, it's still going to usually cost me like fucking $11 to ship it. Usually. It's not an always. It's not an every time, but it's a usually.
FedEx ground, $7.99 plus 75 cents. per pound. You'll have your thing in 4 days after it's at the warehouse.
Mm.
The one you're talking about is USPS Priority Mail, which is $11
No,
plus
I purposely always choose FedEx if I can. If I have the option, I go for FedEx.
I always use the FedEx, and it's $7.99 plus 75 cents a pound.
Well, then maybe I'm just ordering bigger stuff than you.
I mean, probably.
Because like usually, like it's almost never smaller than $11. Like
Well,
it was. I will say it was.
Not even necessarily bigger. It's you buy statues and shit, so it's heavy. I order like a GI Joe. They're gonna be $8.75 to ship.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, but yeah, but
$11-12.
Yeah, but I get a statue every now and then. I get figures more often than not. I mean, like I got two NECA figures. That's one box.
Yeah.
They're not even using a different size box. They're using the same fucking box.
I know, which is why you get like $7.99 flat rate.
That's like 49 cents more by your math.
Yeah, but you gotta add the 75 cents per pound.
Yeah, but
I'm shipping one thing, but that's 75 cents. I'm shipping one thing.
Let me go back and see.
You're shipping two.
Let me go back and look.
And NECA is heavier than fucking Hasbro any day of the week.
Oh yeah,
any day of the week.
Yeah. Well, unless it's like one of those really thick ass figures, like some of the Power Ranger ones I've gotten recently. Does this include shipping? Okay, so this was $4 tax, so that's not helpful. Or $4 tax, $4 shipping. Let me go find one of my previous. This is just we're on a tangent.
I literally just went in there and put a thing in my cart and tried to order it.
I know, but I'm looking at my history, make my life easy, so I can actually see what I paid for shipping and maybe why. Okay, so that was... Oh, no, that's tax. That doesn't matter. Damn it, I did a lot of $4 shipping. I mean, it makes sense that I would do that. Very rarely do I need something tomorrow. Okay, so this one was FedEx. Okay, so this one was only 2 NECA figures, and it was $10.99. Mm-hmm. So it still wasn't $7.99
flat. $7.99 flat, and then they added on $3 for the weight. 75 cents per pound. That wouldn't take much.
Then they're definitely overrating. Then they're overrating the fucking weight on that for sure.
2 pounds.
Let's see. What did I pay for this one? $4. It's funny the ones that I choose to ship stuff at a higher rate. Did I get?
I used to do the $4 rate one, but I've noticed that recently they prioritize.
They always have. They always have.
No, but I mean, like that $4 one. It used to be I would get it within 7 days. Oh. Now it's closer to 2 weeks before I fucking get it.
They are so much busier than they used to be, so that makes sense. Wow, I
pay that extra $3 and I get my shit in 4 days.
Dude, I cannot believe I put all this shit in a single order. I know it didn't come in a single order, but that is a lot of stuff I had all at once. That's right. Too. I forgot these were in my cart. No, I know what I did. I put a bunch of shit in my cart and forgot about it and came back and then purchased the other things and I was like, oh. Yeah, because I'm trying to see, like, I know I've got like 1 or 2 things where I only had a single thing. So I'm seeing, oh, there we go. There's something really dumb. Let's see how much that cost. That shit, probably $4. No, okay, so this one thing is a box of Gundam parts. Not even an actual Gundam was still $9. And that was just one box full of parts. Let's see, the Halo Bulldog. No, that was a $4 one. Speaking of which, I'm about to start working on again because I kind of forgot about it. It's been in the bedroom, so I haven't been paying any attention to it. So now I think we're going to actually start working on that thing. $4. Yeah, I definitely do the $4 shipping a lot. Sorry, we're off on a hell of a tangent here, guys. But either way, I did want to talk about some shows I have been watching because it's been a minute since we talked about that, including Righteous Gemstones over on the no longer HBO. We're still only in season 1.
Really?
Yeah. Well, we haven't watched it in a while, so we started watching it last week or the weekend before, and just been distracted. Jessica watches a lot of shit on Netflix, so I haven't been in there, and I don't want to watch it without her. That's a show that we started together. I want to watch together. Did you see the meme when they did the changeover to the new title? It was like HBO Max is now Max. It's your turn, Peacock. Yeah, Peacock. It's your move, Peacock. Yeah.
Yeah. That should be funny as fuck. They just changed it to cock.
Well, even P wouldn't be great. But so Righteous Gemstone, pretty good show. And sometimes incredibly cringy.
Oh, it gets worse.
I know it does, but honestly, just in the first season, it's got like Game of Thrones level amount of dick in it.
Dude, there's one. I didn't know you were on season 1. In season 3, there's a full-on fight where the dude's naked the whole time, dick flapping and everything in their face, and like, I was like, oh my god, dude.
It's like full on Borat. And I asked Bobby, I sent him, I was like, hey, I'm in season 1 of Righteous Gemstones. Does the amount of exposed male dick ever go away, or to go?
No, it gets worse.
Well, actually, I think I specifically asked him if it goes up or down, just to be funny. And he says, I think he said it basically stabilizes. I was just like, oh, that just means it's roughly the same.
It just happens. It happens so much, you just get used to it.
Yeah, I just like that first part where he saves his brother-in-law from getting killed by the guys in the mall, and he makes them strip all down naked. I was like, oh god, and then run naked through the mall. And then the one dude was just strutting. I was like, okay, just like fucking yeah, but it's definitely like, it's another one of those shows where every fucking character is a piece of shit, except for maybe like one, and you're just like, you're hoping that one person's gonna be okay.
They're all pieces of shit.
Keith is okay unless it gets worse later.
Which one's Keith?
The ex-goth druggy guy who lives with...
the Satanist guy?
The Satanist guy, yeah. I assume he'll...
Dude, that dude is fucking wild. His relationship, those two's relationship in that show.
Yeah, they definitely have a house partner situation happening.
Very heavy.
Yeah. And that guy looks super familiar, but I looked him up and I'm like, he's either a washed up 80s guy or he just looks like a washed up 80s guy.
The Keith guy?
Keith, yeah. He's actually Keith. That's actually like Keefe. Keith. Like Chief Keef almost. It's kind of funny because I thought it was Keith and they were just mispronouncing it. No, I looked it up. It's Keith. But it's a good show. It's just like it's funny. Like when they de-aged John Goodman, it's kind of weird because like it's got that fuzziness, and I'm just like, he's looked so old and shitty for a while that it's like, I forgot what young John Goodman looked like.
He lost so much weight.
Yeah, that's why. If he was still fat, he would look younger.
Yeah, he looks like a race.
He'd be worse off. Yeah, he looks terrible now. But I guess he's like 70, right? Something like that, 75?
He's got to be older than that. I think he was in his 30s or 40s when we were kids.
I'll tell you what, Roseanne looks a fuckload better than he does at this age.
Yeah, it's called plastic surgery.
She hasn't had any plastic surgery. She just fucking...
Okay.
She hasn't. Like, comparatively. Like, maybe some Botox if you're going to go there, but that's not the same.
Which would literally make you look younger.
No, it reduces some wrinkles. I think it's just... I think that's a little bit of the Hollywood leftism that fucking makes you look shittier the older you get versus being an being an old stoner.
How you make looking old being a politics thing? That's crazy.
Because it comes down to where you live, such as California. If you notice, a lot of these people living in California.
Then explain 900-year-old Tom Cruise still looking like he's 20.
He drinks the blood of babies. So
but he's leftist Hollywood.
Actually, he's not leftist. He's Scientologist.
Oh, which is left. Which
not
is
really.
hard.
They're their own fucking thing. They don't even ascribe to the leftist religion because they already have their own. They're a whole different problem. They're like we should do a whole episode on Scientology one day.
Cult that I don't understand why the government has not gone after. I do not
because they write very large checks. That's why.
That's true.
I mean, they go after like the rapey parts, but they don't go after the church itself. They go after individuals who get all rapey and get caught by that. Yeah, but that's it. Same with LDS. Like the LDS is the same way.
As soon as somebody gets charged with the rapey stuff, the church kicks them out, and then they go, "See, we're not involved with that."
Yeah, we're not involved with that, except for all the money we paid them and helped ship them people to actually do the thing. We're going to ignore all that. But and the embezzling, the fucking money laundering, all that kind of crazy major crimes they do. Tax evasion. Oh, they're a church. That's not really evasion. I was like, either way, we could do an entire episode on fucking culty ass modern religions, which would be a fun episode. We should bring Joe on for that because Joe loves cults.
He loves culty shit.
Yeah. So, other show started watching because other people talked about it and I wanted to give it a try. Things We Do in the Shadows. Goddamn, that show is dumb. It's so fucking dumb.
Never watched it.
But it's fun because like you're rooting for very specific characters and you hate the rest. Like Like the only real human in the show is Guillermo, and then he's a familiar to the house full of vampires, basically. So, and of course, it's a mockumentary style. So, they have a camera crew following them around in the life of a vampire. Most of the world doesn't know vampires exist, but this fucking documentary crew is following them around constantly, day or night. It's kind of weird. And I think Bobby's talked about it on Nerd Rage. He talks about how one of their roommates is a energy vampire. He's actually funny because of he either annoys you or bores you. And that's how he drains your energy. He doesn't drink blood or anything like that. He just absorbs your life energy by either boring you or annoying you to death. And at some point, well, not actually to death. He has never actually killed anyone. But there's an episode that just happened, and I forget what he figured out. He figured out he got promoted at work, so he actually became a boss. So now he could annoy everyone all the time. But then the weird part is he started getting some positive vibes from people liking him. He was trying to be funny because normally it's just a dry, straight fucking thing. He's a lot like
Would they like him? It makes him weaker or something?
No, actually he was doing good off of it, but for some reason he decided that once he could annoy people remotely by being able to call them on the phone and annoy them, he could absorb their energy faster. So he was basically doing his entire office all at once, and it got to a point where he now had constant drainage no matter where he was, and he was getting stronger and stronger. He suddenly had telekinesis. He just looks like a normal dude, and he's a daywalker, so there's literally nothing about him that would ever let you know vampire. And then all of a sudden he starts having telekinesis. He starts draining just by being home. He's draining his housemates. He's not even in the room with them or even talking to them. And then he's getting so powerful he grows all his hair back. He was bald as shit. And then he's getting younger, he's dressing nicer, and he grows all his hair back to the point that he can now fly, which he never had any of these abilities, but now that he just suddenly gained all this power, and how he got defeated was hilarious. His own ego got in his way, so he was defeated by his own hubris, like what generally happens. So he got to the point he could create clones of himself, just all willy-nilly. So Guillermo was trying to escape. He's literally about to drain everyone in the house. The other vampires are now showing their age. He's drained them so much. And so Guillermo's trying to escape, and he's like, and makes another clone. He tries to go the other way, makes another clone. And then all three clones start draining them. And they all think they're going to die, and then one clone starts annoying the other clone that starts annoying the other clone. So he ends up draining his own energy in a cycle and passes out, and to the point they think he's dead. Actually, technically, he did die. But it's goddamn. Mark Hamill was just on an episode. Actually, I'm still in the episode where Mark Hamill's on. He is also a vampire from California, which I found funny. And he's after Laszlo because Laszlo's a piece of shit. They're all kinds of pieces of shit in their own right, but Laszlo's definitely a piece of shit. But the episode one of the episodes I watched yesterday while I was waiting was they figured out that ghosts are real. They didn't think they were.
Vampires that don't believe in ghosts is funny.
Yeah. Well, what's funny about it is they know werewolves exist. They know Babadooks exist. They know all these other things exist. All other supernatural things exist, but didn't believe in ghosts until one started haunting their house. And they're like, well, a ghost is a human spirit that's stuck here because it's got unfinished business. That particular ghost is very obvious what his business is. So then they think about it. It's like, well, wait a minute. We are dead humans. Do we have ghosts? So they do a seance and summon all of their ghosts to the house. So they're sitting there talking with their own ghost, trying to figure out what their own human dead spirit is and what they need to move on. And it does get pretty funny from there. Also, the show's kind of gross in its own right. It's almost like a parody of True Blood sometimes, which is a little funny. But it's fine. It's a decent show considering it's half written by Taika Waititi.
I hate that guy.
But this is at least
The fact that you tell me he's even involved in it means I'll never watch it.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least this is meant to be the way it is. He didn't take something that was a different way and completely change it. Also, fuck you, Marvel, for bringing him back for Thor 5, apparently.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, if it wasn't bad enough.
Yeah, so, no, he said he was done. Let him go away. Let Thor come back to being good, please, for the love of God. No. Taika Waititi's coming back for Thor 5, and he's like, I heard the public outcry, and I think I can fix it. No, you can't. You do not have the ability. Sorry, it's like you do not have the ability to fix your own directorial issues because it's your whole style. Unless you're going to completely change your style, you're not going to fix it. Sorry. It's like, get the fuck out. Or go do something else. Maybe he could pick up the Guardians franchise, do that instead, because James Gunn is gone. Which would make more sense. I did what?
All I know is Taika Waititi Twister. I hate that dude, and I hate everything he does. I don't give a shit if he used to be funny back in New Zealand. I don't think he's funny now. Every time he shows up and I hear his voice, I cringe. Like, I hate Korg. I loved the movie Free Guy until he was in it, and I hated that part. Like,
actually, I was fine with him in that because he was basically playing what we hate about him.
I mean, I guess, but still, it was him, and it was him talking. I was like, ugh, I hate your voice.
Oh,
like,
he was in one episode of the show so far with the Vampire Council. Okay, well, hold on.
Already out.
Hold on.
No, all the way out. This was. You've already said.
Okay, no. Listen.
Titty Twister is in there. I don't need to.
No, but this is why this particular episode was fun. Not because of him, but because of everyone else. He wouldn't have to be there unless he's technically done this, and I don't know. So they had an episode where they had to summon everyone at the house to come talk to the Vampire Council because a thing happened. And I think this was playing on...
a thing happened? Spoiler alert much?
Yeah, exactly. So a thing happens, and this is a major thing. To put it in fucking season 1 is funny. So a major thing happens, and so they get summoned to the council, which I think was a play off of... Twilight, the fucking vampire council in there, and all of the vampires in the council are all the celebrities who have ever really played a vampire on TV or movies, even to the point that they have Wesley Snipes on Skype because he was a daywalker who played Blade, and they're playing themselves. They're playing themselves. Like, a couple of them are like legit vampires. Like, because in the moment, but the rest of them are all actors who have played vampires. Because they're wondering where Kiefer is. It's like, oh, he couldn't be bothered. So, speaking of the Lost Boys.
They couldn't bring David out, huh?
Yeah, no. But they had, speaking of Paul Rubens, because he died a few weeks ago and we didn't really talk about it. He was in there from playing his character from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I mean,
he was a vampire in something else.
Maybe, but he was playing that one specifically. But he was named Paul, so they go by their actual name, but they are their vampire that they've played. So that was kind of funny. And they start running down the list of people who aren't there, and it's literally like, yep, more and more. It's kind of funny. And then you get to the point where it's somebody who's played multiple roles, so they ignore them. Like they were just pretending. The rest of them are real vampires. I will say Nick Kroll. I don't know if you know who he is.
Of course I know who Nick Kroll is.
I can't stand Nick Kroll. I can't stand him.
Really?
I cannot stand him, his humor, or anything.
I used to love the show called The League that he's...
Yeah, I know about The League. I just never really watched it. I heard it was really fun. I just never watched it. But he just... Something about him annoys the shit out of me. And I just can't stand it. I don't know what it is. But he's in one episode.
Anti-Semitism is showing.
Sure. He's Jewish?
Yeah, what?
I mean, Kroll is a fucking Jewish name?
No, I hate you so much right now.
No, I'm asking a legit question.
He's just go by the stereotype of how he talks and looks. Dude's Jewish.
So he plays Jews on TV?
No, he's Jewish.
Damn it, the CGM isn't here, so we got to do it ourselves. Yeah, I've now shortened. Rusty has an acronym now. Let me go see. I want to know if he is. Is it a C or was it a K?
What are you talking about? Kroll?
Kroll, yeah, there it is.
With a K.
Okay, I'm
K-R-U-L.
American actor, voice actor, comedian, writer, producer. That's his actual name too. Interesting.
Oh, it's his actual.
Yeah, that's his actual name. I wouldn't have expected that.
His Hollywood name.
Indeed. Knew he's from New York. Okay, yeah, they're Jewish. Just making sure. I don't know.
Why would I fucking lie about that?
I didn't know. I'm not saying you lied. You said, look at the way he talks and acts. I was like, he could literally just be acting. I don't know.
Why would I lie about that?
I'm confirming. It's like, you're going to call me an anti-Semite. I want to make sure the Semite that I'm anti-ing is one.
I did not call you an anti-Semite. I said your anti-Semitism is showing.
That's literally saying I'm an anti-Semite, which I'm
Listen,
not.
he grew up in a conservative Jewish family.
Yeah.
Westchester.
Yeah, so I read that, so I instantly, know it. Good. But I didn't know he was
His
Jewish.
father is a billionaire.
Go figure, huh?
Wow.
Yep, makes sense. Well, I mean, he grew up in Westchester. Isn't that a fucking nice area of New York?
Yeah, it's not for poor people.
It's not for the poor that he tends to play, right?
Nope.
Well, not every role, anyways. He does play some not pours. Oh, I'm getting down to the whiskey. I did not mix that very good. All the whiskey's at the bottom. Now it's tasty. Yeah, I might actually have to buy more of that particular monster and mix it with that whiskey, because that's actually really fucking good. Anyways, I watched Cocaine Bear finally, because it's finally free on Amazon. Holy shit.
It was free on Peacock.
I don't have Peacock. I still don't have Peacock. It can't be free on Peacock if you're paying for it, technically.
I pay for the app. I don't pay for the individual movies on it because it was on Amazon. I pay for Amazon, then you had to rent that shit for the longest time.
Exactly. So it used to be you had to pay to rent it, which is the same reason why I haven't seen Across the Spider-Verse yet, because it's still at a $20 buy or rent.
It's on Disney Plus.
No, it's not. Because it's a Sony. Yeah, it's a Sony movie, so it's not on there.
Are you that guy? You're that far out of the loop? They put all the Sony Spider-Man stuff on Disney Plus about a month or two ago.
I literally looked last week when I saw it came out. It is not on Disney Plus.
Well, maybe that one's not on there yet, but they literally put all like
just not
Wire ones and all that shit.
But it's out to rent otherwise. But you can't get it on Disney. See what I'm saying? Either way, the point is, I watched Cocaine Bear. That was a fucked up movie.
That movie was so wild, and I hate the fact that was what's his face's last movie.
Nah, that's fine. I mean, he went out the way he wanted. Playing a gangster.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he didn't decide that.
No, but he's still, his last movie, he got to play a fucking gangster, so it is what it is.
Because I'm on. It's not on Disney Plus, but I'm sitting here looking at all three Tobey Maguire movies and both Amazing Spider-Man movies.
Yes, but it's Into the Spider-Verse there.
I just said it's not on there.
The first one. Enter the Spider-Verse. Sorry.
Spider-Verse. I don't really look for those because I buy them for the kids. So
yeah.
Because
I don't think I watched that on Disney. I know I watched it. I just don't think I watched it on Disney.
No, they don't show it on here.
Yep, it's not on there. So the next one won't, because it's a Sony specific one. Because there was a while there where Tom Holland ones weren't on there either.
That's what I'm saying, because I was just saying that they should be on there because they put all the other Sony stuff on there. It's all the live action Sony stuff is on there, just not the cartoon ones.
Shit, hold on. I accidentally just opened a thing. I just realized I'm going to have to do some editing now because I had web pages open that the fucking thing was capturing. Whoopsie. So
I didn't hear anything.
No, you didn't hear it. It was seen, not heard. So I
didn't see it on here.
You didn't see it. It's on OBS. Because you don't see what I'm recording. It's like, so I'm going to have to watch that and edit that shit out. Because I was going through my fucking BBTS account and shit. And then I was also going through my Facebook looking at something real quick. I didn't mean to. I was trying to open up Disney and I went to fucking Facebook. I was like, oh, hey, let me just... let me remove that from the fucking thing. Actually, let me write that down. When did that happen?
I have to find out which one it was on then, because like on the PlayStation home screen, like when you have all the different apps and all that shit,
yeah,
it'll have like all the ones where it's streaming on whatever thing it's streaming on.
Yep.
Like I just saw that Spider-Verse one was on one of them because I pointed it out to Kara to watch it with the boys again.
Amazon was the only one I've seen it on it when it was to rent or buy for $20.
Yeah, I just gotta buy it for the boys anyway.
Either way,
this is some good podcasting.
that's why I'm removing all this. Either way, other thing. So I talk with Dante almost every day, and trying to find something else that I could come on to. So you like horror about? And
that Rubber was stupid sounding, by the way.
No, Rubber's fantastic. Rubber is a fucking great movie, and I want to rewatch it again.
Pretentious, stupid bullshit.
It's not. It's a great
It's
movie.
like in my mind the whole time I listened to the episode, I was just picturing like a plastic bag blowing down the street and Morgan Freeman reading haikus over. Like I was like, this sounds like some pretentious bullshit.
No, that would
make it worse. It's in black and fucking white.
No, that's some artsy fartsy bullshit. That's not what this. This is just a good movie. No, so after I watched, I was about to watch Cocaine Bear, and I was scrolling.
Are you sitting there making Cocaine Shark?
Yes, that was one of the other things that he and I already discussed. Cocaine Shark.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and let you know on bad news. I already had dibs on that shit.
No, I'm not saying that. No, we were talking, and he just showed me Cocaine Shark. I was like, of course it is. And I said, that's very derivative. But no, there was one.
Derivative.
It is derivative.
Motherfuckers. That's some pretentious rubber tires.
Go watch Rubber. It's fucking great. Either way.
No.
It's free on YouTube. Go watch it.
I don't care. I listen to y'all's description.
Go inside, drink some Jameson, and watch it.
The only thing that can make it worse is if Taika Waititi Twister was the one who fucking directed it and had vocalization.
No, it's a good movie. Either way.
No, thank you.
The point is, when I was looking at Cocaine Bear, there were other movies in the suggestions, one of which was called Sharks of the Corn.
I'm in.
No,
I love
you are not. You are not. Okay, so
dude, I watched all 6 Sharknadoes.
No.
Episode with.
Yes, I am. No. Listen, I will save you any amount of time. This is Killer Kites level bad.
Awesome.
No,
I'm in. That's
horrible.
The shit I like.
It was fucking horrible.
That's the shit I'm down.
Dude, I didn't get 10 minutes into it.
That's not all pretentious and trying to take itself so goddamn serious.
No. This is trying to take itself seriously while having a Walmart budget, and not like actual Walmart, like food stamps. No, Birdemic. Birdemic has its methods. This is shit. Not only that, just the 10 minutes or maybe 15 minutes of it I watched, other than the tits that were on screen, which good, yay, we got some tits in the first 5 minutes, but like,
you're upselling this shit. No, you haven't said one single thing that makes me not want to watch this shit.
So they're filming this shit on like what looks like an old iPhone. They don't have as far as I can tell, they don't have anything that is actually a decent shark prop. I think they're all toys. And they're literally they're literally airplaning these fucking shark toys through the grass, pretending that it's a full-size shark that's attacking people in a cornfield.
Okay, I'm still waiting for the bad stuff.
Seemingly completely disconnected from the shark that's actually in the cornfield, which I was on board for because that's the idea, right? It's like, okay, there's the premise, and then we immediately jump to some psychopath who worships sharks and murders people with shark jaws to try to summon some type of shark god into his body.
Did you tell me that this is a shark cult, Children of the Corn crossover mixed with some Scooby-Doo, and you think I'm not going to fucking watch this shit? I might start watching it right now. We might live stream this shit on here, dude.
Dude, the acting is horrendous. Hell, they do voiceover, and it doesn't even line up with the fucking lips, and it's the people who did the scene. It's so bad.
Say less.
No, it's fucking horrible. It's not even a good. I don't care if the premise is stupid, but the movie making is so bad it's unwatchable.
You sold me on it. Say less.
No, you have terrible taste in fucking movies. Rubber is fantastic. I'm just not pretentious about movies. Rubber's not even pretentious. This movie is garbage.
Dude, you said the fucking tire had an existential crisis.
He does.
That's pretentious.
He has an existential crisis.
That's pretentious by definition.
No, it's not. It's a living being wondering why he's here.
No, it's not. It's a tire. No, it's not. It's a tire.
He was
That's
living.
The problem. That's pretentious bullshit.
He was alive. He drank water somehow.
Pretentious.
It was not pretentious. That actually was made to look like a movie.
pretentious.
Shit, they sunk an
Worried
actual
about
budget.
how it looked.
They actually have a budget. Rubber had a budget and actually used it really well.
Budgets don't make a movie. Go
Yeah,
watch
they
Ant-Man
fucking do.
Quantumania. No, they don't.
They make a movie
No, they
look
don't.
worth a damn.
No, they don't.
You don't fucking go out there and make a fucking.
CGI
Okay, if this was on Tubi, I would say, okay, it makes sense. It's on Tubi, it's on YouTube. This shit was on Amazon. Like, Amazon is pushing fucking some amateur bullshit movie stuff. No, fuck off.
It's all the algorithm shit, dude.
It's
if you like
it's fucking
Bear,
horrible.
You like Sharknado, you'll like shit like this.
I mean, Cocaine Bear is a stupid fucking movie, but it has a budget. And it actually is shot well, and it's made well, it's acted well. The CG for the bear is rough, but it is what it is.
But isn't though? It's not any of those things.
All of those things are true. Everyone's even the kids who were fucking eating cocaine in the fucking forest were acting better than anyone I saw in 10 minutes of this. Oh god, the in this fucking thing, they're superimposing. They're superimposing like stock images of sharks swimming. Oh, and they stole some footage from Jaws. They literally, that scene, that really bad scene of the shark just coming at the glass and then the glass just explodes. It's not even okay, that terrible shot they steal for this movie, but not the glass, just the shark. No, it's fucking horrible.
Awesome.
Because they're overlaying it over this psychopath as though he's summoning the spirits of sharks.
Say less.
And then he uses some old shark jaws to try to murder a woman or a prostitute.
Scooby-Doo shit. That's what I'm talking about.
It's fucking horrible. Yes. He wears a ski mask. Maybe. He wears a ski mask with a shark mask over it, and I don't mean like shark looking thing. So he puts on a ski mask and then puts on a bandana that's got like some cartoon shark teeth on it. It's fucking horrible. This is fucking. I could make a better looking movie.
Fuck yes.
I could make a better.
Let's hurry up with this bullshit so I can go.
Do not watch this movie.
It's
called Sharks of the Corn. You fucktard.
Whatever. I'm still gonna watch it.
No,
I bet I can just like sharks and corn and it'll come up. I ain't gotta work hard.
Maybe if I took like 3 of Jessica's gummies, I could stomach this fucking piece of shit.
No,
it's fucking horrible. Don't watch it. Throw it away.
Put in some Jameson and go for it.
Burn it to the ground. It's fucking terrible. I didn't even get 10 minutes into it, and it's like, I only stuck around for the boobs and to see where it was going, and then once he fucking murders the prostitute, I was just like, this is fucking stupid. This is so fucking stupid. I mean, like, the acting is horrendous. It's shot terribly. Everything is about it.
Like, there's one called Black Demon.
That might be worth a damn.
It's like a shark popping out of the water, some jaws looking bullshit.
No, it's just called Sharks of the Corn. It has a really nice looking movie poster. That's clearly where they spent all their money, was making a good-looking movie poster. I would rather watch Rubber 4 times.
I typed sharks, and the very first thing that popped up was sharks.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's in the algorithm for some fucking reason. I guess because the Meg and everything. Don't watch this movie. Nobody watch this movie, especially if Rikki is on board. You definitely shouldn't be watching this movie.
Yes, you should stay pretentious and go watch black and white fucking horror movies instead of enjoying your life like I do. I'm definitely gonna watch
black and white horror movies. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they are. Yeah. You obviously don't listen to now you like horror either, because I had that fucking thing where me and Dante talked about the horror movies from the '60s, and I had to watch that stupid ass French movie.
Oh, I'm not
gonna
watch the one you were on. Why would I do that?
Subtitles and all that bullshit.
I only watch the ones that Phil or Sarah are on, or myself.
Well, that's cool. Then I just won't ever listen to anything you're on again. I'm good with that.
Well, you'll miss all the good movies then.
Never. Because not if you're talking about Rubber.
Because Dante liked Rubber.
No, Dante didn't. I listened to the same thing. Dante said it was passable.
Yeah, it was more than
I listened to the episode.
He changed his mind.
I listened to the episode.
He changed his mind at the end. He actually upgraded it.
He went the opposite direction. He downgraded it.
No, he didn't. He upgraded it.
Liked it at first. Go back and listen again. I've
listened to it 4 fucking times, and I've recorded it.
Oh my god!
He was at a 6.1 and brought it up to a 6.5.
How does your own dick taste? I've listened to it 4 fucking times.
Hey, I'm feeding the algorithm. I listened to it on Spotify. I listened to it on Podbean. I listened to it
my own episode that I was on 4 times.
I had to wait 3 weeks to hear that shit. So yeah, I did listen to it multiple times. I had fun doing that episode. I had a lot of fun doing that episode.
Yeah.
I miss doing movie
The
reviews.
Sharknado one, me and Dante were laughing so hard, dude. Our faces were hurting. That
So
shit
are you
was
forgetting the
trash.
part of the beginning of our review where he trashes you for making him watch Sharknado?
Yeah,
So he still
I'm
hasn't.
not forgetting that. I'm not forgetting you talking shit about me on there either.
It was about Sharknado.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I didn't watch Sharknado. I didn't make him watch Sharknado. I made him watch one movie. You watched 6.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if Rubber
Yep.
had
I had to watch the
sequels, that would
same
be
six.
horrible.
It's not like it was amazing or anything.
No, Rubber was actually really good, and it was over pretty quickly.
Yeah. Negative.
It's only I think it's only like 108 minutes or something. Pretty short. Either way, moving on. Did I do anything else other than go?
Oh, you gotta hurry up. I gotta go listen to myself talk on a podcast 4 times. You
You
gotta
need to
hurry
do
up.
that. Yeah. Well, I listen to our
Not
own
at all.
podcast. I listen to our own podcast at least twice before it fucking goes out, and then I listen to it
But
when it does
that's
come
just
out.
because you're editing it. You don't go out and listen to it while it's out.
Yes, I do. I listen to it the day I drop it. And I also listen. I listen to the unedited on Patreon, and I listen to the regular one whenever it drops.
Oh my god, you do like hearing yourself
Because
talk.
sometimes I forget what the fuck we talked about, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll go listen to that. Re-listen.
You have unstable internet.
Yes, you do.
No, you do. It literally has your picture. It says unstable internet under your picture.
I literally haven't dropped any. I've got no issues down here. I haven't even lost you. If I had unstable internet, I wouldn't be able to talk to you. Everything's working on my end. Yours is all jittery though.
Look at here. Santa Claus.
I don't care if you screenshot the thing. I don't care.
Yep. There you go, Santa Claus man.
Don't care. Oh, speaking of Santa Claus, I opened up all my my holiday Star Wars Black Series figures that I've been just stockpiling.
Why are you buying those fucking things?
Because I don't buy any of the normal ones, so I just buy the holiday ones. Because I find them amusing. I'm waiting to see if they'll do a Jewish Jedi. That'd be interesting, all blue and white and silver. Because everything else is red and yellow. There was a gingerbread, like, stormtrooper that I never got. I wanted that one. Should have picked it up while I had a chance. It'll come back out again. Is what it is. I'm just going to have a whole display, like, on the side somewhere. I'm going to have, like, a Christmas diorama of just the holiday edition figures. And make Jessica look at it.
Gross.
All right, so I don't think there's anything else going on other than the fact that I think I mentioned last week that I spent all that money on my car and I didn't have to, and it pisses me off. Okay. Yeah, seeing what you sent, you're silly.
I told you.
I don't
It's
care.
you and your unstable internet.
My internet's fine. It's your end. Either way.
Okay.
So, you go then.
I already talked about Ted Lasso.
Yeah, you finished
I watched
that, right?
Evil Dead. Yeah,
You watched all
I
four
watched
seasons?
Evil Dead Rise. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I watched Evil Dead Rise yesterday. It was all right.
Are you a fan of that series or no?
See, I'm like the inverse of fans of that series. Like, I love Army of Darkness. I like the wacky horror stuff. Like, and number 2 is stupid to me. Like, I don't see any reason I'm watching number 2. It's literally just
It's a
number
remake of the
1, but
first
they had
one.
more
Yeah.
budget. Yeah, but it's supposed to be a sequel. It's not supposed to be a remake. Like, in canon, it's a sequel, but it's literally just the first movie with more budget.
That's the hard
And
part about
then
that is that it works out because I watched the whole thing where they were going through all of them and it said like two. You could
And
start
I
at
love
2.
the Ash versus the Evil Dead, that show. See, I like the wacky Ash stuff. I don't like the one where it's trying to be serious.
Yeah.
And the remake, the new modern one, it was okay. And then this one was okay too. Like, it had some cool parts in it. Like, it's some pretty cool gross stuff in it. But again, it wasn't anything great to write home about. What else? I got a bunch of shit in. I got my Cuphead and Mugman in, my Nindroid.
Yes, those are
I
cool.
love those. I got a bunch of
Yeah,
Joes in.
You were showing those off last week for the patrons who didn't get to see it. The Cupheads. So for anybody
I
who
showed those off once?
Yeah, it was me and Rusty. Yep.
I think I just showed you Cuphead because Mugman hadn't come in yet.
You had Mugman in at least
Mugman
one of the,
came in like 2 days. Mugman came in like 2 days after Cuphead.
So I remember seeing because you had both of them because you had them both in evil mode He said, yeah, you can swap them all over and do the evil modes.
Well, I posted pictures of it all,
Either way.
after I got them. Yeah. But yeah, they're pretty cool. Now I kind of want to go back and buy another set just to keep one set in evil mode and one set in their regular modes. So those Nindoroids are fun. A lot of people dog shit on them and stuff, but I enjoy them. I have the Batman animated series one. It's pretty fucking badass, actually, for what it is.
For certain, those figures or those characters are perfect for Nindoroid. They like already fit the weird dimensions and everything because usually it's like an SD or a super deformed type.
Pop. Yeah, it's like a pop with articulation.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a super deformed, usually big head, small body situation. But that's what the Cuphead figures look like, or characters. I keep saying figures. So I mean, it's interesting. I almost bought those.
It's pretty fucking cool.
What was that?
I have the animated Batman from Batman animated series by them. It's pretty fucking cool too because all the swap out features and it has light up eyes and does all kinds of shit.
So would you get figures of like the bosses from Cuphead or no?
Dice Man, I would.
Yeah, I figured Dice Man would be a good one, or the Devil.
Because I like Dice Man. I actually, because my kids are very much like me, and they're awesome because of it. Like Kara made us all shirts that we all wear whenever we're playing Cuphead. Yeah, and now they watch the animated series. They'll put the shirts on just to watch the animated series.
So
Isaac has Cuphead.
So are you Old Man?
Gabriel has Mugman. No, I have Dice Man.
Of course.
Yeah.
I would
definitely get a Dice Man.
It'd be cool if Jax got a hold of that brand and could make like the 2.5-inch figures and dioramas like they do for Mario and Sonic.
The Mario shit. I don't want 2.5. Go to the ones like I got from you. Those.
Yeah, but they don't do the dioramas there. So they could do the diorama bass battles. But I'd rather get the 2.5 so you can display them worth a damn, because then you could have the entire battle scene for the boss battles and it'd be cool. I would buy that. I absolutely would, because it would come with the background and everything. I never beat the game. In fact, it's still sitting there unfinished.
Oh, we did.
I know.
Like we went back, and you have to beat it on the hardest level to actually beat it, because when you beat it, it tells you like to get the ending, you have to go back and beat all the levels on the hardest difficulty. Like you can't beat the game without beating it like that. So we had to go back and do it, and we did that. And I got them the DLC with Miss Teapot, or whatever the fuck her name is. I can't remember her name. Miss Teacup.
Miss Pothead.
Whatever. Yeah, probably.
I mean, it should be Cuphead, Mugman, Pothead. I mean, it writes itself.
I can't remember what it was. It was Teacup or Miss Teacup or some shit like that.
Should be Teabag.
Some shit like that. And she had cool powers though. Like she was fun, but she's only usable in the DLC stuff. And I hope they make a sequel to it, because that game was fun as fuck. And it was so frustratingly hard. I mean, to the point where I wanted to chuck a controller, and I haven't played a game like that in a long time, but it was just enough frustratingly hard that I want to come back and keep trying until I beat.
The funny thing is, that was the craze of it. It's so damn hard, especially when you're trying to get the little purple or pink things to, do I forgot what they're called. When you have to parry, the things you have to parry to get the power-ups. That was really fucking annoying. But the funny thing is, everybody struggled with this game, like, through and through. And then you go watch the people who are like, this game is not that fucking hard. And then you watch them speed run it, and you're like, fuck off. Like, they just memorize.
I don't believe speed run videos anymore. I watched the whole thing where a guy explained how speed running works. It's trash. Most of them use hacks and shit like that on their computer. And then a lot of them will edit film together to make it look like they did it all in one. So I fuck speedrun videos.
Yeah.
I just sit down and play them. And that game was super enjoyable, and I hope they make a sequel. I haven't heard a single thing about a sequel.
I don't know if they do a sequel versus DLC. I would do another game like it, but not a sequel. I don't think it needs a sequel.
I would do a direct sequel.
Just do more characters in a similar world.
Direct sequel. Because there's a continuation to the story. Because there's one, like at the end,
spoilers.
You have to choose. Well, you've already seen the figures, so that's a toiler. But at the ending, the very end, you choose whether you're going to uphold your contract with the devil or not. And depending on what you do, it changes the outcome. Like if you do not,
so
you have to fight your way back to a bunch of bosses and stuff. And if you say you do, that's when you turn into those evil-looking versions, and you go around and you're like his little henchman. So you could literally do stories off both directions.
Yeah, it's called Fable.
Yeah.
Same thing. Choose how light or dark you are. So imagine if they
Fable
didn't go full evil. They didn't go full evil. They're like 50-50. So you're like got the crazy eyes, but not the flaming stuff.
But yeah, so I got those in.
It's balancing.
What else? I'm trying to remember. Oh, Kitchen Nightmares is coming back. I used to love that show with Gordon Ramsay.
Are they?
So they're
wait. Is it American Kitchen Nightmares?
Yes, they're making brand new episodes years after they did the original run.
Okay, so
and my kids have never seen it. My youngest loves cooking shows, so I've been going back and rewatching them with them. We're like almost through season 1 now. Yeah. I'm so hyped.
So hyped. I love the British Kitchen Nightmares.
They're exactly the same.
Dude, no, because they were after he did Hell's Kitchen over here, everything was based around the way Hell's Kitchen was filmed and edited and the music and everything like that. If you watch original Kitchen Nightmares from the UK, totally different production, everything. And it was the same thing because he also did Bar Nightmares or Hotel Nightmares or whatever. So he did
Hotel Hell.
So same kind of situation. But he already did that over there better. And I'll also watch the F Word because I heard the F Word was coming back. But it's like, as long as it's American, I don't want to fucking watch it because I prefer the way the BBC did all that shit back in the day. It just looked better, was shot better, made more sense. Because I saw some of the Kitchen Nightmares they were doing over here, and they're like doing a weekend renovation. They're doing that. They're not doing like, okay, we're going to be here for like 3 weeks. I'm going to figure this shit out. No, it's 4 days total. Like, I'm here for 1 day. We do a 2-day renovation. We do a 1 day, it's reopened and fixed. And like, I hated that shit. They're just plowing through what it used to be. It's like, if you really wanted to bring that shit back, do it like This Old House. You know, slow it the fuck down. Give us multiple episodes to fix something. You know, instead of just like in and out in one and then, fuck you, I'll check back in later. And then like you'll revisit like a year and a half later and they fucking failed because of COVID, clearly. You know. I mean, I even like
because of COVID, because you can go back and look.
Most I know, I was joking.
I was a couple of months of the fucking renovation.
Who was the other
guy? I watched one of them. Like, you didn't even notice, but there's one that they did because after the show ends, like Isaac wants to know what happened, so we'll look it up online to see what happened to the restaurant. And one of them, they don't say it in the show at all, but the restaurant had already been closed. They closed down the restaurant.
Yes, I've seen that.
Brought it back in just for
the
this
episode.
Show.
It was faked, yeah.
And then, no, not that it was faked. The manager, the owner, couldn't make it. But then when they were doing like the casting thing for this show thing, he's like, well, we'll reopen. He reopened like 2 weeks before the show came out there.
Oh. Had
them fix everything and then turned around and sold it for a profit to somebody else to make his money back.
Oh, that's fucking chintzy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is what I know. A lot of them either failed because they didn't listen. I say a lot, many,
or they immediately reverted
turned
back
it back.
To their
yeah. Because you can always tell either the difficult chef or the difficult owner, one way or the other. Because most of the time, when it was like the person who was front of house, didn't fucking matter. You know, because they were usually on board wanting to fix it. The staff was generally on board, but you get like one dickhead in the kitchen. Like I remember one, it was like at a hotel or something, and it was a buffet / actual kitchen, and they wanted to get rid of the buffet entirely because it was kind of pointless to do both. Like, you're wasting all this time, but the guy who ran the buffet, the a la carte stuff, demanded that they do it. So, like, because he comes back like a week or two later just to check on them, usually by the end. To see if they've done anything, and they had already gone back to all the old ways. Half the staff had quit because they wanted change and they didn't get it. And it's like, and then like I think they said like 3 months later it was fucking shut. You know, because they were, they're always buried like $100,000 in debt. You know, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I always liked the idea of the show. I mean, the same difference with Bar Rescue, and it started the whole big craze. And then Robert Irvine also did his version of it too.
So we've been going back and watching that. That's been fun to do with the kids. Trying to think of other shit. As soon as we get off of here, I'm watching it because that dropped.
What was it?
Let's see what that's all about. The Ahsoka show on Disney Plus.
I thought it was on Wednesday.
Nope, it dropped today.
Did it? Because they
dropped it early. It was some kind of weird shit.
Oh yeah, because they said Wednesday over and over again. Wednesday.
Yeah. But then they did it. It's something to do with the premiere. Is what they said. I'm gonna go look. Like the guys were talking about it in a message last night.
That's weird.
But yeah, supposedly they did. It was some kind of just for the premiere.
Just for the premiere, we're gonna throw it down a day early.
But it ended up being like 9:00 at night instead of midnight or some silly shit.
Streaming today at 9 p.m. Yeah,
Today
2-part
at
premiere.
9 p.m.
Oh, that's
yeah,
stupid.
so it's tonight at 9.
I'm just gonna watch it tomorrow. I'm not gonna watch it at 9 p.m.
So it's tonight at 9. Yeah, I told you it came up early for some reason. Changed it up, so it'll be later tonight. I probably won't watch it because I gotta work tomorrow, so I'll watch it tomorrow.
I'm just gonna watch it tomorrow. Whenever I get home. Hey, look, rain.
I'm not even gonna rush. I might not even watch tomorrow. Get around to it when I get around to it because I'm not excited for it.
I am.
I think they're gonna ruin her character, so I'm not looking forward to it. They're already picking and choosing that, like, Thrawn's gonna be trash in this shit. Like, they're already doing a bunch of shit that I'm not looking forward to in this one. So, and then it's gonna all have to tie into Mandalorian and Boba Fett, and those motherfuckers are gonna show up too. Like, it's all, I don't care at this point. I don't care. Just put out the next season of Andor so I can enjoy Star Wars again for a while.
No, they're gonna ruin that too.
No, because we already know the ending of that. It's called Rogue One.
Doesn't mean they can't ruin everything between here and there.
But that kind of, it limits their capabilities.
That's 4 years of ruining they can do. They can make every character you love fucking shitty.
Yeah, they could, and they probably will.
They're gonna make Andy Serkis.
Showing what they've shown so far, it's been good. They're
gonna bring back Andy Serkis.
Positive of it. I'm going to stick with the positive of it because this show has been good so far. None of the other shows started out good. They started out fine and then went worse. This show started out great. So even if it goes worse, it'll only go down to fine. So I'm going to go with that. So I'm looking forward to Andor. Ahsoka, I couldn't care less.
We don't even know when. We have no prospects as to when Andor season 2 is coming
at all. With all this writer strike and all that shit, it could be forever.
They should have started it immediately.
They might have, but everybody's on strike right now. So even post-production,
but Andor would have been filmed 2 years ago. Post-production has nothing to do with the strike.
Yes, because if they have to do any kind of ADRing to it or any of that kind of shit, they can't do it because they can't change anything that's already written. So if any of the dialogue doesn't look right or doesn't sound right, they can't fix it.
Yeah, but like I said,
they're not allowed to change anything.
The original series would have been done 2 years ago, which means that the current season would be done a year ago and then just be cleaning shit up. Now, also, I don't know if you heard about this, but the CGI studios are all about to strike too, especially against Disney because of the shit.
Good times.
That's why Marvel has been so shitty lately because of that.
Mm-hmm. So all that should be.
And they fucking should. They absolutely should do it.
No, they shouldn't.
Well, I mean, if they're striking for better working conditions, not money.
But you got a job. You got a paycheck. You knew what you were going to get paid before you signed the contract to work for them people. Bitching about it just because those people made more money on it is fucking
No. You go back to why you quit your new job, and that's why most of these people are striking.
I quit my new job because they didn't have me doing what I was supposed to be doing.
And they were working your ass off and told you were hired to do one thing, and then you weren't doing the thing you were hired to do, and then you were working 100
my old job.
And you were doing 115 hours when you were supposed to not be.
The way this would be the same would be if they were hired into the CGI people. They took the job, and then when they got there, they're like, oh, well, instead we're going to have you scrub toilets.
Well, they probably did that too.
That would be the same, because then they're not doing the job they were hired for.
But you're also so you were salaried at your other job, yeah? The one you started?
Mm-hmm.
And then you worked how many hours in 2 weeks?
115 hours.
And how many hours did you get paid for?
Salary.
Yeah, so not that.
I got paid for all of them. It just lowered my hourly income.
Yeah, so technically you were working a buttload more than you were supposed to do, so not getting paid enough to actually do it. So that's basically what happened.
Did they tell? See, but I asked about that. She bald-faced lied about it.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why I left.
So that's part of the reason why these studios are doing this.
I didn't strike or do that.
Well, yeah, I'm just you're a guy. You're just a guy.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go get my job and go get a job and pay my bills and quit bitching about shit.
So the problem is with this is like it's not about the money. It's about the fact that you're given a project, you bid a project, right? So you bid, okay, I can do these 35 shots for $2,000, but I need 2 weeks to do it. So Disney says, okay, except then they give you 600 shots, but your contract was only for those 2 weeks. So now you got to do 600 shots in 2 weeks. And yes,
you don't have to.
You
The contract
shouldn't
was
do
for
that.
the 35.
Yes.
Only do 35.
Yeah, and I agree that this should be not the way it works. But unfortunately, this is Hollywood, and it just means do what you're fucking told in the amount of time you're told to do it in, or we'll give it to someone else. And so they break contracts. They don't give a fuck because they're Disney. So the problem is that massively overworked studios, like,
I guarantee you they hired somebody into that job lickety split after I was gone.
yeah, I know
I
they
don't care.
did.
I don't think I was going to shut the kitchen down because I wasn't working. I don't care. I'm just a number. I'm a cog in a wheel, man. They'll just put a new cog in there.
Yeah, except the problem is when those cogs are the only ones who can do the job. Like, and then when you have all the cogs,
you know how many people do CGI now because that became a big thing in the late 90s, early 2000s.
And you know how many people are now refusing to work for major studios because of this situation? Because it's horseshit.
They'll get somebody else who wants the money that will do it.
And then that's why it's never about the money. It's about the fucking absurdity. Because here's the problem. Do you know how many studios have shut down after winning an Oscar because they were so badly fucked by the industry? Because there's a lot. There's a lot of fucking studios who did major fucking movies, won Oscars for movies, but because the work they did was underpaid because they gave them so much fucking more work to do than they ever got paid for in a contract. This is one problem with being a creator. When you're a creator and you bid a job, odds are you're bidding, I'm going to do this for this amount of time. And then the person keeps coming back, well, can you do this? And, oh, we need to tweak this. And then a 2-week job turns into a 3-month job, but you're only getting paid for the original 2-week job. And that's the problem with the way these bid contracts work, is that unless you really fight back and you work on your terms, you're going to get fucked. That's why so many either went bankrupt, shut down, people quit because they were overworked. And the major person who does this is fucking Disney, especially in the Marvel division. Like Star Wars actually only has like a very small amount of studios that are doing their work, including ILM directly, but even they farm shit out. But like, that's why this Star Wars stuff has all looked significantly better than Marvel that's coming out at the same time. Because you've seen the fucking credits of Marvel movies. How many fucking people are just in that production end of the fucking credits? You can have upwards of like 130 studios doing fucking scenes for this movie. And sometimes it's like, oh, just run cleanup on these scenes that this other 2 studios have already done. As like other ones are literally, hey, do this entire 85-minute fucking stretch of the movie. You know, it's fucking nuts. I mean, like Weta did a fuckload of work and probably still does for Marvel. You know, they have their own shit to do. They have their own productions, but no, Marvel hires them on to do major fucking CGI battles and shit like that. And when they have the time and the proper amount of money, because at some point you've got allocated work, right? Like you got, these people have to do this job, but now that job has inflated and these people are out of that time frame. They need to be doing other bid jobs. So now you got to start pulling people. It's fucking nuts. That's what happened with Star Wars and Disney. They pulled people from the Star Wars projects to help finish up Marvel projects. That's why the studios are all fucking rebelling at this point. Because it's fucking nuts. Like, it's just ridiculous because of over-reliance on CG.
All that talking and over-explaining, if Disney goes to them and says, okay, remember how we said we'll give you 2,000? Now we're going to give you 5,000. Every last one of them will shut the fuck up and do it.
No.
So it is about the money.
It's not about
every
the
last
money.
one of them.
The problem
is about the money.
No, it's not. For you, it is. It's not for them.
If them offering you more money to do that same shit makes you stay, then it was the money, not the job.
Yeah, and then that's why they all quit or fail. Because they'll make a lot of money right now, but then they're going to lose bid jobs to other companies that'll stay in business because these people did it for clout because they're working for fucking Disney. And then they fucking fail because Disney ran them into the fucking ground. So no, they all need to.
How does it run them in the ground if Disney says, "Okay"?
Because when you do one job in the time that you could be doing 5 jobs.
Well, then don't sign the contract.
As I just explained it. That's what I just said. They're not going to do it. People know what Disney's like to work for, and they're bailing. They're jumping ship.
But they did sign on, so they can't bitch about it. Just don't go back to work for them.
And they'd not. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I did. You make comparison with that new job. They
and you
fucked up.
fucking quit.
They didn't follow through with what they said. Exactly.
Yeah.
They went and got a different job. Didn't sit there and keep bitching about it. Didn't
So
stay
if they
at
pay,
that job
so if they
bitching
paid
about
you
it.
more money, would you have stayed there? If they gave you $10 more an hour, would you have stayed there?
Money. Not for doing the job I was doing.
Exactly. The argument is that you said
for
more money, I'll stay there and deal with it. That's what you just argued about these studios. No. That's what you said about these studios. Yeah.
That's what they do when they go on strike. They're asking for more money.
They don't want more money. They want better working conditions.
Watch.
It's not about the money because they are making.
Okay.
No, because the argument is they are making money. It's not about the fucking money. It's about the fucking work. It's like with me. I could make $100,000 a year at my job, no problem. But I don't want that fucking work. I could greatly use that fucking money. But that work will fucking kill me. It's the same fucking thing. You can't pay me enough to go and kill myself at a job. Sorry, you can't. I've done it. I'm not doing it again.
I've seen an indecent proposal. There's a number that meets everything.
No, not for a job. Not for work. A job.
$1 million a year. $1 million a year.
I wouldn't do my job for $1 million a year.
Bullshit.
No, I wouldn't. Dude, that's like, I just wouldn't fucking do it. Like, okay, no, correction.
$1 million correction. Everybody would go, I would do it, but I'm only going to do it for 5 years. And then
No, the correction. I would do my job for $1 million a year. I wouldn't
You're doing your job for a lot less than that.
I wouldn't do. No. I wouldn't do the job they want me to do for $1 million a year.
I would do that for $1 million. Do it for 2 damn years. Save up some money. Bye, motherfuckers.
Nah, I've suffered too much. It's like, that's a problem. It's like, once you get past a certain level of suffering, no amount of money is going to make it better. That's like what happened with Jessica when I made her quit her job. Well, I said made. I kind of pushed her into quitting because of the sheer fucking, basically what your job was doing. It's like, hey, we know you have your own job to do, but all these other people aren't doing their work, so we're going to need you to do their work and attempt to accomplish your work in the same amount of time. But we're not going to pay you anymore because we don't see you as actually needing to be paid more.
Yeah, but that's not what they did at my job. I never did my job. The one they hired me for, I never got to do it at all. Every time I'd start it, I'd have to be pulled off to something else, and then the boss above me would have to finish it.
Yeah. At Jessica's old job, basically, she was supposed to just be the medical office manager. Actually, not even medical office, just the office manager. So she was supposed to just be answering the phones and sending messages, filling out certain paperwork and stuff like that. But they had her doing all the paperwork, calling patients, fucking running management situations that she was not supposed to be doing because she was not that level of manager. And then they had her doing medical stuff that she was not licensed to do because they didn't have anybody else to do it. And they refused to fucking pay her any more money to do all that extra work. She brought it up. She said, look, if you want me to do all this, you've got to pay me more or let me get overtime. I cannot accomplish everything you're attempting to do. They're like, well, we're not going to pay you more and you're not going to get overtime. They're like, well, then I'm fucking quitting. And then she stayed on for another 2 years. And I fucking told her, you have to fucking quit this job because you're coming home crying every fucking day from the torture they put you through. And then she's going in and working for free on Saturdays just to get caught up on the work because they don't give her allotted time. I was like, you better fucking stop. It's the same situation. Just keep piling on the work because somebody won't say no. And then when they do say no, it's like, well, you didn't say no before, so we're just going to keep doing this. And you're going to have to keep doing it or we're going to fire you. It's like, good luck finding anyone to do this job at the level you want it done, you know?
Right.
And that's why that place went under fucking bad. And I told her repeatedly.
I've been playing the fuck out of Ghost of Tsushima.
Thought you beating it.
Trying to get back on track a little. Yeah, but I'm doing like so I platinumed it, but because of when I bought it, because I guess it's like a couple years old already.
Yeah.
I bought the collector's edition or gamer edition, or whatever they call it, one where it comes with all the extra shit that you would have to buy as DLC when it first came out.
Yeah.
So I got the platinum on it, and then it has all these subcategories for different trophies for all the DLC shit.
Sure.
So I've been going back and doing those too, just to get 100% on those, just because I'm OCD and it's not 100% on my screen when I look at it. And some of them are like online, and the online ones are fucking crazy, dude. Like, I hate playing online. I'm not a fan of it, but it takes like 80 plus hours to get the trophies for the online stuff.
What does the online stuff look like?
They added all these extra like little stories. It's the storyteller stuff.
Sure.
But you only get to play like you're either an assassin or you're a samurai or you're a archer, a sniper type person. It's like it does like the tanks and the healers and the this, that, and another thing. Like, and you have to get each one of those ranked up to level 20, and it takes forever to rank them up. And you can only play through these games so much. You have to beat all the levels on bronze before it unlocks the silvers. Then you have to beat all of them on silver before it unlocks the gold. But I beat all of them on silver, but you get key points, your chi, that you get for upgrading, because it also has a RPG element to all the weapons and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be a bare minimal of 75 play in the gold levels, and I'm a 73, and there's nothing I can do except for go back and grind bronze and silvers to get more stuff to upgrade my fucking weapon kits to get up to a 75. Like, it's a pain in the dick, dude. And then like all the bronze ones I just played through and I beat them. Like I whooped the shit out of them and I started playing through silver. Where it's the same exact levels. They just escalate the hardness, right? The difficulty level of it.
Yeah. And
you get to a point where you have to play online. Like it's impossible to do some of the stuff they want you to do without a secondary person there. Like there's these treasure chests that again you have to unlock them. They have upgrades in them, and it's a requirement to beat the level. Like your objectives. It's an objective to open one of these treasure boxes. Well, the only way to open the treasure box is for both people to fucking try to open it at the same time. So you have to go online and play with people. They make it impossible just to do it without people.
Wow.
So I hate shit like that. And so I'm doing that. Let's see. Eventually I'm going to start playing that Tears of the Kingdom, because the boys have been just beating the dog shit out of that game. I still haven't even played it yet.
I kind of want an old school, like, on rails fucking Zelda game again. Like, open world is fine, but like this one took it to such a fucking extreme level, especially with the building
Zelda
shit.
was never on rails. What are you talking about on rails?
All old Zelda games were basically on rails.
No. You can go any direction you want to. You can do them in any order you want to.
It's still on rails. Like, you don't have to, like, because you could play for fucking 1,000 hours on Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild and never do anything that has to do with the story.
As soon as you plug the game in for the first time, you can also go straight to the...
Do what?
You can put in the Breath of the Wild,
because
I've watched a video where the person did it. You can literally put the game in for the first time, load it.
Yeah.
And right there, as soon as you get to the point where you can get to the kingdom, like after you that, whatever, as soon as you can see the castle with Ganon's cloud over it, you can go straight fucking there and fight them. Yeah. You do not have to do anything else in the game. You can go beat the game. No. It took them 4.5 hours to fucking nickel and dime this guy to death, dude. It was fucking dumb. They just spend like... You're watching the video and they spend like 15 minutes just dodging shit like that, because you run up, you whack them once, and it'd be like 1/8 of a heart goes away. Wow. Then you run away and you dodge for 50 more minutes. Like, it was fucking crazy, but you can do it.
Yeah, but how do you?
So that means it's not on rails.
How do you beat the Calamity version?
The same way. You dodge everything. You go up and whack them.
It's fucking nuts. But no, basically almost all Zelda games have been on rails to some degree. It's not 100%. It's not like you can only go this way, because even the old ones you could wander around, do whatever. You could accidentally get into fucking castles. But the idea is that, like, even though it's an open world, you can still only kind of accomplish things in order to really beat the game. Even if you do it slightly out of order, you still got to get things here, 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 and here. And they'll put things here, 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 and here that you have to do.
You don't mean on rails. You mean you want the Zelda where it was like Goldrian. Like, this one's just kind of figure it out as you fucking go. They don't ever really...
It's way too open world. You could tell this was also more for the a little bit more for the Fortnite people, because, like, hey, let's just make a Zelda game where you can also just build anything you fucking want out of stuff. As like, oh yeah, sure. Like, I don't even have to fight anymore. I built this giant mech that I can just summon because I saved it, and it'll kill anything and everything near me.
these two, like the stories were kind of cool. Well, the first one, I don't know the second one because I haven't played it. I've seen the kids play it a couple times.
Yeah.
But the first one was pretty cool. It's confusing as always because in Japanese the story probably makes more sense than transliterated, but a little bit confusing. Gorgeous to look at. I hate games where weapons break. I can't fucking stand them. Do not give me a weapon, put me in a battle, and I'm beating the fuck out of somebody, and then have my weapon break, and all I got left is a fucking stick all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Fuck shit like that. I hate. I to this day, I have never played a Witcher game because of that shit. Because I started playing Witcher 3, I started fighting this Goblin King in a fucking cemetery or some shit, and my fucking sword broke, and I had nothing. I had to run away, and then you need 10,000 drachmas or whatever the fucking in-game currency was, and you only get like 2 of them per thing that you do, so you have to grind for hours to get the money to fix. Fuck that shit. To the point that the Master Sword had a limit on it. In Zelda, the Breath of the Wild, the Master Sword, you use it, it breaks, and it goes into like a 15-minute cooldown where you can't even fucking use it at all.
Yeah. Unless you upgrade
the Hylian's shield, if it breaks, you have to go spend like 5,000 rupees to buy a replacement for it.
Yeah, fuck all that. At least in the 64 games, some stuff would break, but it was like the wooden stuff. Like, but then even
but you
like,
get it repaired,
yeah,
or it was part of the story that it was supposed to be broken.
Yeah, like the big Goron sword was supposed to be broken.
Because you were supposed to go out and get it.
You got to get it. You got to get it reforged. Yeah, and then it
was a side quest. It wasn't you had to grind 50 hours saving up rupees to do it.
Yeah, you just had to find the right person and have money. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Those games were even though there was variation in the gameplay, it was still basically on rails. Like because you couldn't find 1,000 hours of shit to do on the old games. Like, there wasn't a giant world that you literally didn't have to do fuck all. I mean, at that point, they may as well make Zelda an MMO. It's like, or an MMORPG. Like, just fucking have everybody online. We're all playing Zelda online. And then they'll just wander around our own cities. It's no longer NPCs. They're all actual people, running actual shops in the fucking game. Because they don't feel like being fucking hunters. I mean, that's the future anyways, all the meta bullshit. He's like, they're all going to be VR. Zelda in VR is next.
And I don't know. I got a bunch of Joes in. I'm trying to remember which one I got in. Fucking remember. I got a bunch of Joes.
You got 2 different scuba divers from what I know.
Yes, the eel, and I got the torpedo.
You got the guy with the missile launcher.
Oh, yeah, scrap iron with the rocket launcher. And then I got rock and roll. And then I don't know, a couple other ones. I straightened up some more in my office, cleared off my table. You can see my table again. I just randomly put shit on a shelf. So now my shelves aren't empty, and that's not their final resting place, but at least they're up off the table now. Still packing more MP shit to get rid of.
How? You've been doing that for a year.
Because it was a pain in the ass because it was all buried under stuff. Now I've dug it all out. I can get to it again.
Yeah.
And I've sold off some of it like for time. Like now I'm trying to get together like big batches. I'm going to go get rid of them. Like stupid cheap. People are still going to buy those shits. They're going to be so happy because I'm going to be fucking fire selling shit. Like I have all 6 Dotson brothers and I'm like $300. You can have them all. I don't care.
Not worth it.
Yeah. And if you're an MP collector, the only ones you can get, so kind of worth it.
Yeah, that's weird. That's one that nobody ever really did, other than them.
Which is crazy because Prowl is like a main character that everybody loves. You'd think they would have somebody would have at least tried him by now.
I think the MP. I mean, like the MPs were always good, because I had a couple of them. But they're
fine. I mean, they're not great. They're definitely dated. You can tell they're dated.
I mean, yeah, they were super early MPs, but like. They still fit in. I mean, like the only thing you're gonna do is basically what Fans Toys did with Jazz and make the chest narrower and not stick out so much. In which case, you're gonna have to do so much plastic origami.
There'll be so many panels. Yeah.
So much origami just to make it work, and then you're gonna have a backpack that's fucking horrendous. The only thing I always hated about the MPs was that stupid little chest tab that you had to fucking make sure it was pegged in properly. Like when you folded the car front down and that piece tabbed up into that.
That's
yeah, when I first got who did I start with? Blue Streak. When I first got Blue Streak, I could not.
Which, by the way, is silver, and Silver Streak is blue.
Yeah.
So figure
or
that
just
out.
Streak is blue. They just made him Streak.
Yeah.
When I first got him, I could not get that to fucking untab, like, at all. I couldn't. It was so stuck from the factory, I could not transform him. Like, I did a review on him. After I'd done it, I felt I fucking broke it when I finally got that thing free. I didn't. It just was so jammed in there that I could not get it free. And then I always hated... I initially had problems with getting the legs to fold properly, and then I forgot. I was like, how do I fucking... It's like, I know this is supposed to fold into that, and then I was like, there it goes. It used to be fun, and then there was a point where I was just like, this is a fucking chore. So I don't.
And then I got in some Legend stuff. I had Swindle last time we did this.
You've had Swindle for weeks, yes.
And then I got Onslaught in now too.
Oh, okay, I didn't see that one. Why are the dogs barking?
And then that's my neighbor's dogs.
Oh,
my
okay.
dogs are inside. I call it. I got Power Glide.
Which
New Age Power Glide.
Oh, okay.
I got in Cosmos.
Yeah, you've had Cosmos for a little bit.
And somewhere in America, because it literally just said arrived at port of destination like 4 days ago, is my New Age Sludge. So he's somewhere around.
Yeah, some people have already gotten it, so it can't be that far away.
Yeah, it can't be that far. He got his. Usually I get mine within a day or two.
Yeah,
his, because he's right up there by the port, so it goes to him pretty fast.
Yeah, I'll get him eventually.
I'm
getting caught up on the bills.
Trying to think of what else I've gotten in.
Oh, I do have.
I don't know. Stuff.
I do have an update on something that I haven't talked about here, but I've been reminded of because I'm looking at it. So a few weeks ago, I ordered off of Amazon some of the Tamashii Nation figure stands. Like the ones who actually hold some shit up. So
that's the SHF ones?
It's not specifically, but it's just Tamashii Nations. So I have one that's actually holding up my fucking Wolfman finally. Nice. Since he continually was falling over all the goddamn time. And then I also
April with her little ankles.
Actually, the April's fine. She's still standing. I just have to make sure I keep her knees bent enough that it works. But the Street Fighter, actually, he's right here. I forgot I didn't put him on the shelf. So I got the other one. I'm using it to hold my Street Fighter Power Rangers Ken, doing the Shoryuken.
Shoryuken.
But the other update now, because I'm looking at it, so I made sure I stabilized the Wolfman finally, but something knocked over the Bride of Frankenstein and the Mummy. So
that's the one I was talking about. Was the Bride of Frankenstein? April.
No, the proper Bride of Frankenstein. I've got both. So the Mummy's on the floor where Wolfman usually would end up, and Bride of Frankenstein has fallen over. Oh, god damn it! I can't fucking win for losing. Oh, and Hamato Yoshi's fallen over again. God damn it.
Nice.
I thought do I have him? Oh, I don't have him on a base. That's why he keeps falling. I keep forgetting he's not actually on a NECA base. I have a bunch of them now.
From the movie one?
Yeah. So I have them in a fighting pose. Him and Orokusaki. So yeah. So the update: Wolfman is finally stable. However, other people are falling down now. It's fucking annoying.
And that's it. And then I'm going to BotCon this week. Very last minute. I literally wasn't going up until Sunday. And then a friend of mine reached out to me and they're like, look, man, we really want you up here. How about I just pay for your plane ticket? You just figure out everything.
Damn.
And I told that to Kara and she's like, well, I know you're not going to go. I was like, no, I'm not that. I don't like, it doesn't matter whether you say it or not. I don't like feeling like I owe it.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, that's not going to happen. And she's like, well, we'll just put it on the credit card and just worry about it from there. I'm like, okay, cool. Made it happen. Boom. Had my flight lined up and everything. So I'm going to head up there. I get off work Thursday. Got to run right home, take a shower, get changed, and head straight to the airport. And I'll be getting in late Thursday night and then leaving Sunday evening.
Yeah, if my credit card was paid down, which if I didn't have the fucking hospital stay on there, it probably would be paid off by now, or at least really paid down. I would probably have made the trip for that, either that or TFCon, because even
well, TF I'm definitely doing. That's an hour from my house.
yeah, exactly, yeah. That's not a problem
Not
for
going
you.
to
It's
the
in
con.
Florida.
Don't care anything about it unless they got some kind of an exclusive that I want. But I'll go at least to see people.
Yeah. But like I'd probably go to TFCon for that reason, but also I've never been to a Transformers convention at all, so it would be interesting. Period.
Really?
Yeah, I don't go to conventions for anything. Like we don't get, dude, we don't get like we get anime conventions and we get like Comic Palooza, but like nobody has major conventions here. Nobody. It's like we have two. We have actually sorry, we have 4 major convention cities in Texas, and they don't do like major fucking things here. We have like Acon, we get Comic Palooza, we got Anime Matsuri, but like no TF cons, no bot cons, like none of them fucking come here. They go west or east. They don't nobody comes to fucking central. We don't go third coast. It's fucking bullshit. Like even Louisiana gets some okay conventions sometimes. Like actually, even if you throw in Galveston's got a massive convention center too. So I mean, between Austin, Houston, Dallas, and San Antonio, there's major convention centers that we could have some pretty good size fucking anything. But we don't even get like like Dragon Con or something like that, which is more about props and stuff and cosplay than it is about other stuff. We don't get anything cool like that. It's fucking stupid. We have a small convention center here. We have our own little convention for our city. Haven't made it to one of those yet because it's always when I'm fucking working. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to take off a Saturday to go do that. It's like if it's still rolling by the time I get off work. No, that's a different story though. Because we had some decent names here at the last one, so it's growing. But yeah, no, I mean if there was a BotCon anywhere at a major city in Texas, I would 100% go. But having to fly halfway across the fucking country to go to any of those conventions is not going to be in the cards for the most part. But yeah, no, it's been a problem. Like we used to get there was a BotCon here like way back when, like 2009 or something. I think it was the last time BotCon came to Texas. That was the old BotCon, of course, but it's kind of hard when like nobody wants to leave the fucking East Coast or the West Coast, But nerds will fly anywhere, really.
Yeah. I've gone to like we get a small one here in my town every once in a while. And this year they're actually having some big names there. Like I guess it's grown recently because they're gonna have the dude from Shameless that did the Jedi in the Fallen Order game, the redheaded dude, Joker from Gotham.
Yeah, I don't actually know his name, but yeah.
Man, he has like a very Irish sounding name, but he's gonna be here. And there's like a couple other big names. I was like, oh, I guess this one's getting kind of big now. So I've been to that one. I went to the very first year they opened it. It was trash. It was literally just people. It was like a yard sale. It was trash. So I didn't go anymore. And that was a few years ago. And then my first big con I ever went. Monahan, yeah. First big con I ever went to NYCC in 2019. And then I did TFCon in Baltimore. And then BotCon last year. And now this one. Like, I don't really go for the cons. I go to hang out with friends and stuff that I talk to on here. Yeah. And the cons are just secondary.
Which is why it would also kind of suck because I'd be going to the con for con because I wouldn't be meeting with anybody I know down there. Well, actually, that's not 100% true because I do have friends who do go to conventions, but I never know when they're going, And I do have, quote unquote, friends who go as vendors to a lot of the local shows because they're slinging pops, basically. So, because that's their major thing. But then also, I was invited to join someone at their booth for Comic Palooza a couple years ago because vendors usually get vendor badges and they usually have spares for day passes. So unfortunately, I couldn't go. Like I told him, I was like, if I can get off, I will go. Like that's awesome. I appreciate that. And it would have been cool to hang out with him too. Because someone I've talked to and someone I've purchased a lot of stuff from. So I was just like, that'd be fucking cool. Hang out. see things through the eyes of a different thing.
The other side of the aisle. Yeah.
Fuck.
Bless you.
Oh,
COVID.
I was trying to cover that one. I didn't want to. Damn. I went through a lot of dust earlier. I thought it was raining because it was. Say what? Outbreak monkey. It's Jessica's fault. She's the one who fucking did it. Oh, let's see what the news is.
Did we ever hear back from Jay?
Not recently. Hold on a second.
Well, I'm saying since we did his episode, I didn't know if he responded.
He didn't. Oh, hold on, wait. He did. Well, he was in a live stream the other night. He came in and was chatting with us. Don't think he's emailed since. I think he just left a couple. He did leave a couple comments. Hold on. That's right. Haven't been checking the comments recently because there haven't been hardly any. But he did leave a comment on the last one. Nope, it wasn't on that. It was actually... So he didn't comment on the episode. He commented on my post about the episode. I was like, good job, Jay. Excuse me. Oh, he did comment that he forgot to include his own ratings, which you mentioned. He's like, what are his ratings for these things? So yeah, he said he forgot to add his ratings for the movies. That's right. Yeah, that's pretty much it. There was no other comments or anything. He hasn't checked in. I assumed that there had been a funeral at some point recently. We were talking to him, like we being me in the chat, about his mom passing and stuff like that on Thursday. He was there Thursday and Friday last week. So, still thinking about you, bud. You know, you can always write in. You know, if you ever want to come in and chat with us, we can try to make ourselves available for that. So yeah. Also, Rusty was gonna try to join us today, but apparently his work shit the bed like a Amber Heard, and so he couldn't join us. Yeah, we were watching. So Netflix has a quote unquote documentary about the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial, except all it is they just compiled the footage into a linear format. Because apparently, what I didn't even realize is that the different back and forth was like weeks apart. Like it would be like all Amber and it would be like all Johnny. So they actually compiled it together so it looks like it's happening back to back. And then they added some YouTuber footage, commentary and stuff like that. It's not bad, but there were some facts that came out in it watching this documentary yesterday that I didn't even realize. So I'd missed in all that giant mess, but at least they eventually got clear of that stuff. Oh, so fun times. Now my nose is running. Damn it. The sneeze loosened up everything. Either that or the weather's changing finally. I don't know. It doesn't look very bright outside. Maybe we're a little...
It's fucking bright here, man.
Like, usually, you can see, my window's right here. So you could see if it was really bright out. So I did want to talk about something. Because the latest DC Universe movie came out this weekend. Blue Beetle. I think I only know one person who even saw it, because apparently not a lot of people saw it, because domestically it only made $26 million in its opening weekend. That's fucking sad, man. Like, for a brand new character in a not necessarily connected movie to only make that shit is kind of fucking sad.
Yeah, but it's Blue Beetle. Who the fuck cares about Blue Beetle? Blue Beetle's trash.
I mean, nobody cares about old Blue Beetle. Nobody gives a shit about Ted Cord. But Jaime Reyes is a bit cooler of a Beetle. I mean,
maybe 20 years ago.
He hasn't even been around that long.
Yes, he has.
I think he's only been around since New 52.
No.
I don't know. I'm just making shit up at this point. But I'm going to go look because I don't actually know when he began. Should have watched the variant comics version of that. Jaime Reyes, Blue Beetle. Am I spelling it right? Yes. I was actually spelling it right. Oh, nope. Too many E's. How did that happen? Let's see here. I like the character and I like the idea. His character made his first appearance in Infinite Crisis #3, February 2006.
So 20 years ago, like I said.
Nope. 17 years.
Eat a dick. So, anyways,
But
Ted
anyway, he's
Cord was
still
always
new.
cool because I always like Ted Cord with Booster Gold. Like those two together were always great in comedy.
Yeah, no, I like them. Like, I also like the idea that Ted Cord does still exist with the new Blue Beetle, and it's just like, oh wait, so you're more like an actual Blue Beetle, because that happened in Young Justice, which that was my introduction to the character, was in Young Justice, because that was a huge fucking deal, especially with the invasion in that movie or movie. I mean, like, I kind of want to see it, but like, I don't know that I want to go to theaters, and I think that's the problem. It's like, it's such a fucking.
It's not worth the $20 a ticket for me to see this movie. I don't care
No,
that much.
and it's not worth it for me to take Jessica, which means it's going to cost us $80 with food to go fucking see this movie. Is like, I'd rent it. Like, if they put it at home for like $15, I'd probably rent it. Like if they,
I'll
like,
just wait 45 days and watch
Yeah.
HBO Max.
yeah, and that's what's fucked up. Is just like, some of these things, like anything that was old DCEU, or and I think this is technically supposed to be in the new universe, not the old one. But I don't know if that's confirmed because it was an in between project, so I'm not sure if they clipped anything that could be considered old. Because they do have the Batman reference, but I don't remember if there's any cameos in it. I could be wrong. But like, I don't think it was ever going to get a fair shake, especially after the abysmal Flash movie. You know, I don't think it was ever going to be able to come back, especially it's only been 2 months since Flash came out.
Cinematic masterpiece.
Shit. Cinematic masturbation, because the only one who got anything out of it was them. Yeah. So, I mean, like, I think the CG looks cool. I'm not sure how I feel about all the characters in it, because there's certain actors I'm not really.
George Lopez with long hair drives me nuts.
I don't like George Lopez anymore. Actually, I just fucking.
Yeah, but that's.
I like.
It's because of his politics.
No, actually, I used to like George Lopez, like old George Lopez, not old George Lopez. You know what I mean? It's like old grumpy shitbox fucking George Lopez. I'm not keen on. Like, politics aside, it's just like, because he's redone his own show like 3 fucking times. Or like, we're on like I think currently on like the 4th edition of a George Lopez show, and it's the same bullshit. Except now he's grandpa, not dad. It's just like, ugh, like, come on, man, just fucking move on. Do anything else other than fucking tweaking your own dick. But like, it's almost like Tim Allen continuously, basically only doing Home Improvement, one way or another. Of course, he got canceled by Disney for whatever, but it's just. That's the only thing that I was having any remote issue with that movie. It's just George Lopez. And if he's a small part of the movie, then I got nothing to worry about. If he's like in
he's the dad of the main character, so I doubt he's in a small part.
Yeah, if he's in every other fucking scene, I'm just going to be rolling my eyes constantly. I was like, God damn. I was like, this is not about you. This is about fucking Blue Beetle. But
it's not going to be. It's going to be about Hispanic culture and stuff like that.
And that's fine, too.
So that's the problem, is that they're going to try to heavy hand the stuff in it, and I'm not.
Like, if you have time, you can spread out the heavy-handedness, so it's just a constant, not just a whomp on the fucking head. Slow boil. Like, if you want to do cultural stuff like that, then make a whole long fucking thing about it, so it can just be a constant saturation, but not be overwhelming. But when you've only got like a 2-hour window to do it, and you're just constantly beating someone over the head, like if they did the entire Miss Marvel series as a 2.5-hour movie, it would just waylay you way worse about the cultural stuff than the series did, because they could at least spread it out over 8 episodes or however long it was. Wait, did you get a chance to watch Secret Invasion yet, or no?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, because you haven't talked about it. I didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
You didn't like it? What was wrong with it?
I thought it was. They had such good parts in it, but I didn't. My biggest thing is the same thing I said, like with the Black Widow movie. It's too little, too late, man. Don't nobody give a fuck about what Nick Fury's been doing during off time. Everything's done, over. You've already reset all that shit. You've moved on. It's past. Shoehorning in shit about stuff that's happened post Endgame does not make it.
But this movie was better. Now. This wasn't a past movie.
But you could tell when it was the originally, like, you can see parts of it in there that it was not going to be set post game. Like, they added a bunch of shit in. course. Interesting.
Actually, the
biggest one is adding the Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel stuff, and then every once in a while, just every once in a while, they'd add a line of dialogue to remind you that this is after Thanos. If you took that stuff out, you'd have never known, and that shit could have been made 10 years ago.
I think they mentioned it at least every other episode. They talked about the snap and Thanos taking away half the population. So I mean,
that's what I'm saying. You take that little bit of dialogue out. This show should have been done 10 years ago, when Nick Fury was like building up the Avengers stuff. When people cared about what Nick Fury was getting into, I don't care what he's getting into now. I don't care.
Well, they needed this to build up the Marvels, except for the problem being that this entire fucking show had been redone. Like,
and then that Marvel fuckfest at the end.
Yeah.
That fuckfest at the end.
And that
stupid.
And by the way, that
I don't understand if people understand how DNA works, but the harvest thing, it doesn't work the way they try to put it off in the show. You have to have a pre-designated DNA sequence to be able to show that this matches that, so that's from that person. Because if not, you just got a vial full of blood. How would it know which one was Captain Marvel's and which one was Ebony Maw's and which one was this person and that person? It was stupid.
I mean, you're talking about alien technology that could identify any DNA strands, but the idea that it was all in one vial was stupid. I'm not going to argue that. But
and then the whole last fight was.
Yeah, I know. Like, I said that when we did the review.
You got Drax's arm. Cool. But why do you have his tattoos? That's not in his DNA.
I don't even know that they were ever technically tattoos in this universe. That's the problem.
They are tattoos.
I don't think I really don't think in this version of Drax it was ever meant to be tattoos. It was like just his skin.
I think they talked about it like in the first Guardians of the Galaxy. I think they asked him about it. Like I think he mentioned something about it.
He talks about his daughter and everything getting killed.
And that's why I have these in memory of my family or something like that.
I don't think so. I think that's a problem. Is that like
we have to go back and watch again. But either way, it's not
Guardians
part of his goddamn DNA.
Yeah, but I think that
I don't give a fuck what they said it is. It's a tattoo.
Well, why is Captain Marvel's powers part of it in the first place? That's not fucking God given. That's not even in her DNA.
Like,
why do they now have powers to shoot lasers?
You ever watched Cinnamon Sins before?
I watch them every fucking week.
So I watched the one they just did on the Secret Invasion the other day.
Yeah,
dude, I took screenshots of it and I sent it to Bobby, and I was like, this made me laugh so hard because it sounds exactly like something to say. Because they're like, oh, you know how you guys always complain about the same verse same at the end of the movie?
Yeah.
Well, here's every same verse same ever in like a 2-minute clip or some bullshit like that. Because that's all they kept doing. They just kept switching powers. And you have the power of the Hulk inside your body, and you choose to be Ebony Maw. Get the fuck out of here.
I mean, why not?
Why would you ever?
Like, realistically,
Ebony Maw, I can make rocks float. Cool. Well, I'll just be the Hulk. I can destroy everything.
So one thing
Captain Marvel, as OP as she is in these fucking, as much as they try to say how powerful she is, why would you be anybody's powers but Captain Marvel and just fuck everything up?
Well, I also want to know why Ebony Maw's rings were part of the transformation. That made no fucking sense. It's just
because it's part of his DNA in this universe. Because they never told you it was part of his DNA. That's what I'm saying. It was all these things they had to do to remind you of who it was.
Yeah, because you wouldn't know otherwise. It's like, oh, super strong.
A withered old gray arm. Yeah.
Well, like the fucked up part is like, okay, so you have at very least 15 fucking people who are insanely strong built in there, but you picked like 3 to go on. You have some people who have like incredible regenerative technology on top of already having extremists, which I thought.
Explain to me how Captain Marvel shot through Captain Marvel. I still don't understand how she kills him.
The way he dies doesn't make any fucking sense at all because it just shot.
She just shot him with the Captain Marvel laser that she'd already been shooting him with it for like the last minutes.
He dropped guard on his chest apparently, and it just blasted
just that
through
one
his
little
heart.
spot. Yeah,
except that he had been shot through before, like
fucking stupid.
I mean,
plus I did love his character. That character could have been so much better. Like he had so much gravitas, and they just kind of blew past that.
So go watch the video. Well, I'll reshare it at this point because I shared it weeks ago. Go watch the video breaking it down as to why the show was a failure. Because there's people talking about behind the scenes shit as to what actually happened. Do you know this fucking show cost more than the last fucking Avengers movie?
I think they said it was like $220 million.
$220 million for this show for 6 episodes because they redid it twice. Or I'm sorry, they made it twice. This show sucked for the same reason most of the other ones sucked. It's like, do you know that okay, so here's one of the main
Why'd
talking
they
points.
reshoot it twice?
They didn't reshoot it twice, they shot it twice. They reshot it once, sorry.
Why'd they shoot it twice
For
for?
the
Why'd they do
same
it?
reason they made major changes to the storyline in Captain Falcon and the Winter Puncher. Um, so remember how that series was all fucked up and felt disjointed because they had
I like it.
Okay, no, yeah, it was a good. No, I liked the series, but it was fucked up because the beginning of it was all about getting a virus or whatever was in that truck, and then it became about super soldiers because the original plan for that was actually to be a fucking viral outbreak, a fucking pandemic brought on by these fucking terrorists. But because COVID
And they
had
couldn't do it
just
because of COVID.
because of COVID, they rewrote the whole fucking show. So that's what happened with this because it was supposed to be about Antifa-style terrorists that were Skrulls trying to start World War III and destabilize governments all over the world. They halfway did that, but then they made it Skrull versus Skrull at the end instead of like the human side Skrulls and the evil Skrulls, for lack of a better term. Like, they killed Maria Hill. I guarantee you, Maria Hill was not supposed to fucking die in episode 1 initially.
I still don't understand why they killed her. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Because
other than just to let that thing on contract.
Yeah, and I'm sure she liked being the character, and she never got a chance to do anything with the fucking character outside of the Captain America movies. So that's why it's fucking stupid. But, like, if you look at it, like, the leaks that have come out about how the show was supposed to be and how it was originally shot, none of the fucking nonsense at the end. Like, remember that scene right at the end whenever the British chick takes Gaia and sees the whole fucking thing full of Skrulls? Like, underground, or the humans that they had captured?
Uh-huh.
That was not going to be at the ending. I guarantee you that was not at the ending. That was there to convince Gaia to switch sides. But they crammed it in at the end because they didn't have anywhere else to put that footage. And it's just like, oh yeah, so we still have Skrulls everywhere still pretending to be humans. So that's what's going to be our setup for the next thing. And now Gaia is going to be a secret background ultra hero because she can't be beat by anyone. It's like they rewrote all of this fucking story. Now, whether or not the Nick Fury stuff was rewritten a little bit, like, I think Fury was actually supposed to die and then somebody rewrote this shit because they needed to get him in the Marvels. This goes back to the disjointed nature of people writing shit at different times and shooting stuff at different times and then realizing, oh, we can't do that. Comes back to the Guardians 3 and Thor 4 problem. It's like, oh yeah, we had to reorganize this. Now we have to fix this, which turns into an Ant-Man problem, which turns into a fucking everything else problem. So I think what ultimately they were supposed to have a much different ending, much more open-ended situation, not just a 1v1 battle, especially with a CGI fuckfest battle. I don't think it was supposed to ever happen. You know, like if they got Harvest earlier on and then we were dealing with Super Skrulls instead of wrapping it up in one fucking episode, that'd be a different story. And I don't know, maybe if you paid some of the other actors who were actual heroes to come in and have to deal with this instead of like a 70-year-old man who's definitely not been doing his job for a while, just sort of bumbling around. But like my biggest issue, and I mentioned this on this show because you weren't here when I was mostly talking about it, the fucking, how many times did they go back and forth between Russia and London? Middle of nowhere Russia and fucking London like it's nothing. They're just boop, 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 back and forth. Makes no fucking sense.
They have teleportation capabilities. You see that?
Yeah, that's what that old fucking Mercedes car can do. It can just fucking teleport from one end to the other. It's fucking stupid. They're just like, I think they did. Russia was the other thing. It wasn't supposed. They were supposed to be far more Russian involvement than they did, but because of the war in Ukraine, they decided to change that. Oh, was that what it was? Mm. Oh, that's what it was. It was Russia starting a war with Ukraine was the beginning of the fucking thing, and it turned out to be the Skrulls. That's why they changed it. That's what it was. So the actual bombing and everything that happens at the beginning was supposed to happen in Ukraine, and they just fucking fixed that. And so it was all supposed to be based around Russia invading either Ukraine or some other country. And they kept it sort of, but the Russians weren't involved. So that's what it was. That's why they're on that nuclear sub at some point. So some little bits and pieces were still in there. The parts that felt really fucking weird and like they went nowhere are the parts that were from the original script, and then it just
The
crammed
best
everything
part
else
about
around
this
it.
movie was how close they let Don Cheadle come to being Captain America or Captain Planet. That was the best part about that show.
No,
Like that was literally the best
Rhodey
part
is a
about it.
chick. Rhodey's a chick in this one.
No,
Oh,
he was almost his Captain Planet character, the cussing and
yeah,
telling people to fuck off and stuff. Like, yes,
I do like the
I love
idea of
Don
it.
Cheadle.
I
I
do.
like seeing him
Yeah,
unhooked from allowed to run wild.
yeah. I am annoyed that he, and I know it's just for budgetary reasons, but it's like he's a fucking war machine. I know Tony died and
Mhm.
all, but he's still a fucking war machine. No, he's just gonna go be
Don't they
some.
show him in his Iron Patriot? No, they never do show him. Yeah, they do. Don't they show him land in his Iron Patriot thing one time or some shit?
He was in the Mark III armor for like 5 seconds.
Like at the very beginning of one episode, like right before he walked in
No,
on the Senate
no,
committee
no,
or
no.
whatever.
He's never in this show. He was never in any armor ever. But the only other time they
Okay.
show him in anything that's Iron Patriot looking is during the well, not just obviously the one movie, but whenever in Endgame when he goes from one suit to the other, because in the second suit he puts on is the red and blue like Mark II like heavy duty version of War Machine.
Hmm.
Whenever he's with Rocket, he puts on the red and the blue suit. That's the only time he's
Yeah.
other Iron Patriot armor.
But he was the only thing I really liked about the show was him. And I liked Ben Mendelsohn, and they fucking killed him too.
Yeah,
I'm
that
like,
wasn't
Jesus
supposed to
fucking
happen
Christ.
either. Yeah, that was also not originally part of it. I don't believe. Like they killed every one of Fury's allies and or made them a Skrull. So, but even from the comic books, it's like it should have been him and Maria Hill fucking finding people. I could give a fuck less about his wife's character. I'd be like, okay, but you find out
Mhm.
that she's on the side of the Skrulls, then he shouldn't be doing anything with her until
Yeah, her
eventually.
being a scroll, I don't remember that from the comics. I
No,
mean, it might have been in there
that's no,
because
no,
I
no. It's
remember it.
not. It's not. But they
Like,
but
I don't even remember him being married in the comics.
no. And I'm okay with the idea, but like basically swapping her for Maria Hill, I was like, no. You could have had Maria Hill in here being his spy buddy the whole fucking time, like it should have been, instead of him basically bumbling
Yeah, like when
around.
her and Daenerys go on that fucking house killing spree. I'm like, what the fuck is this? How did she? What the hell?
Which also made no sense.
Yeah.
But also,
When they first showed the wife being a scroll, I thought it was going to be interesting because I thought it was going to be they were showing us that they embedded her in there.
Yeah.
It was going to be a secret thing. But then as soon as you realize that he knows she's a scroll, I was like, well, this is just fucking stupid Romeo and Juliet bullshit.
Yeah. And I mean, and I could care, and I didn't mind that storyline of just him and her, but like the way it was executed through the modern story, like their relationship, fine. But like she's on their side, no, she's on his side, and then now she's on no one's side. It's like
And I like that English chick, dude. She was kind of a badass.
Oh, she's always a badass in everything she's in.
Not the only thing I know her from.
No, she's been in. Dude, she's a major staple of British fucking shows. Like no matter what it is, like she's in all the things.
Cool story, bro. It's the only thing I know her from.
Yeah, Olivia Colman is fantastic in almost anything. Hell, she played the Queen at some point. But no, she was really good. But also her character just got nerfed on the back half. She's just sitting in an office looking at shit on the internet, and then shows up with a gun at some point to be like, "Hey, I'm here and I'm British." And they're like, "Are you sure? What about Fury? He's in Russia." Sure, he is.
And the dangling thread of keeping the girl super scroll around and all that. I'm like,
nah.
Now we're gonna do.
But okay, so
we're gonna do like the British Avengers.
Yeah. So here's the thing that I wanted to know. Why is it that Super Skrulls can only do a combination of the powers via a limb? Like, oh, I can only do a firearm and a stretchy arm, but I can't do stretchy fire. Like, I can only do one thing at a time with my body. Like, or different bits of my body. I never understood that, but that's why this battle was stupid. Because they're flying, in general, they're flying with Captain Marvel's powers, but then, like, swapping out for, like, a Hulk leg to kick somebody. It's like, what if you were the Hulk with Captain Marvel's powers? You'd probably just be completely unstoppable. I'm just like, but like, I think if they kept it not every goddamn fucking hero that was available, if it was only a few, like obviously you can't do like Tony Stark because he doesn't have powers. You can't do Doctor Strange because his powers are magic. You can't, you can only do. But
why couldn't they do Tony Stark? Ebony Maw's ring's part of his fucking DNA. They could have made the Iron Man armor part of his DNA.
I mean, technically, Extremis in a way is. Yeah.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
But the Extremis wasn't used that way in this case, and you just made nano armor, which was not kept inside his fucking blood, which I'm sad about. That would have been an interesting way to have done that, like the comics. It's like he's just got the nano armor inside him, and it comes out of his pores instead of fucking coming out of the thing on his chest. Like, I know we're gonna make this goofy looking nano armor just appear out of nowhere, but we're not gonna go so weird as it coming out of his skin. It's like, okay. He's like, okay, Marvel, just make it dumb as possible. But like, it just didn't make sense. Like, I'm gonna do a Drax arm to show I'm really strong.
Like go full Drax. I just feel like it was a little too. It was too little, too late with this show. Like I would have cared maybe 5 years ago, but now I just don't care.
I mean, I think
like
the timing's fine. The show was dumb.
It might be that post Endgame. I don't care about the MCU. Like, I don't care about the next phase or what they're going to do with it or anything that's coming down the pipeline. So I don't care about anything that's attaching to it. Like, I'm done going to see 23 fucking interconnected movies in movie theaters. I've done that. I've marked that off my bucket list. I don't need to do it again.
Yeah.
So I don't really care about all that interconnective shit.
Well, they can't.
That's probably one of the main reasons why I hated. That's why I hated that Wave 4 or whatever that shit was, where it was all the shows and stuff. Like, I don't care where it's going. I don't care what it's leading to. I don't care about any of that shit.
See, I do. I'm
still going to watch them because I'm a nerd, but I'm not going to go to the theaters. They're not going to get thousands of dollars of my money like they did the first go round.
Yeah. And they don't care about us. They care about a new audience coming into it. That's why they're reinventing the whole fucking wheel. But to me, and I've argued this here plenty of times, I would rather see longer shows that are interconnected. And not like this one has to go to this one, but you've got ties that roll into other shows, and then thematically they roll together.
Shield stuff makes the Shield is the overarching. Nick Fury tying them all together is the overarching. They don't have to meet up with each other and have a cup of coffee every other fucking episode.
No, but that might be fun. Because you ever seen Superhero Cafe? The animated Superhero Cafe show? It's fucking hilarious.
Get together and get a shawarma.
It's Batman and Superman having coffee and talking about stuff. That shit's funny. But no, but I'm saying is like the first time they did Phase 4, it almost worked, except they were a little too disjointed. There was nothing that was going to bring them together. And then they only brought shit together separately in the movies. There was no like all of these shows tie together in a movie to wrap it up, or like, okay, we get 3 shows in one season that build to a movie. Now we get 3 other shows that come from the effects of that movie, and then that culminates in a movie that all 6 shows come together to make that movie happen. That makes more sense in the way like comics do a run of 52 fucking things, and then they do an annual, or they have like a major event happen at the end of a run, or like every fucking 6 issues, or 6 months, I should say. Because they're not always monthly, sometimes they're weekly. But like that would make far more fucking sense for a comic book universe. Like the Netflix shows did it right. It's like they were all in New York. They were all happening almost simultaneously in the background of each other, and then they all came together for the Defenders.
They got together one time.
Yeah, they got together,
and then they went right back to their own solo.
Yeah, which kind of makes sense. I
am not looking for. They're gonna fuck up Daredevil and Punisher. I don't know. Disney has to nerf everybody to make it family friendly. It's not going to be as good.
I don't know if any of that is true, but I don't know if any of it's going to happen because they're fucking backing off of everything right now. So it's like they realize,
because the problem is the whole thing up to Thanos was great, and it's the diminishing returns or the need to one up the previous. Like, oh, we made $10 billion. Well, now $15 billion, so we have to up the ante on everything. Don't. Just be happy with the $10 billion and make $10 billion again.
Or don't even make it, or don't even make $10 billion. Fucking be happy with $500 million, because that's your money back and then some.
But what I'm saying, is they made a thing that worked with that whole first MCU.
Yeah.
They know that worked, so why change it now except for to try to make more money?
Well, we know why.
Captain Marvel was fine. It was not the worst movie. It was not the best movie. No. It was just fine. It was just a movie. But they are putting all of their eggs in that basket. Everything has to go back to Captain Marvel. everything leads to Captain Marvel. And I'm like, why? Of all the shit that y'all put out, that cannot possibly be the one that when you look at the metrics, that's the one that you think everybody wants to see.
See,
There's no way.
I don't even feel that it's doing that so much as the fact that they have characters that have to go around her right now because we have all these other characters that are doing their own shit. Well,
they want to go cosmic. They own Fantastic Four. Push cosmic that direction.
They will eventually, but they're not doing it now because they have to do something with what we have.
Marvel. No, they don't.
Well, they can't just stop.
Yes, they can.
No, they can't. Literally can't. You can't stop the machine at this point. That's the problem. You can't. You can only have very shittily running machines. You can't stop them until you can eventually make the machine good again.
At the end of Captain Marvel 2, have her come on and go at the very end as a stinger. Be like, well, I'm retiring. I'm done. Peace out. And then that's the end of Captain Marvel. Move on to the next thing. Fuck you.
Nah.
Get her the fuck out of here. Nobody wants that shit.
I don't mind it.
Nobody wants that.
I think that it's.
You think Captain Marvel should be the spearhead of this MCU?
I don't know why you think she is.
Everything leads to her. Look, Miss Marvel leads to Captain Marvel. This shit, it's all about Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel, and obviously the Marvel, all about Captain Marvel.
That's like three things. That is literally only three things that were all tied to the same movie.
In-game only worked because of Captain Marvel.
How?
They were going to lose if Captain Marvel didn't fly in and kick Thanos' ass.
They could have had anyone do that.
Captain Marvel was going to be but they didn't.
Yeah.
That's the problem, is they bet on it being Captain Marvel, and now the metrics don't match, and they still have to make shit to go to Captain Marvel.
Except that there's literally the only stuff that goes to Captain Marvel is the stuff that's Captain Marvel related. Nothing else is going that way at all.
This was not Captain Marvel. Secret Invasion was not Captain Marvel.
It was Skrulls related, which was started. The entire Secret Invasion story was started because of the Captain Marvel movie. All of the characters from that movie, except for Coulson, were in this. And then they died.
But that's what I'm saying, is they put all their eggs in that basket.
But it's not. It's not all the eggs. It's all of these eggs.
It didn't have to be Captain Marvel. Skrulls could. We're all nerds. We know what Skrulls are. Let's say those Captain Marvel movie was never made. Miss Marvel was never made. Captain Marvel has not been talked about in the MCU. If we watch the show where Skrulls pop up, we'd be like, "Oh, what the fuck's that?"
Yeah,
no, of course we know what the fuck's going on.
But we're not talking about a what if. We're talking about this is what happened.
It's what they tied it to.
They tied characters to characters.
On Captain Marvel being the shit. They're betting on her to be the shit instead it was shit. Those are two different things.
They never. Well, the problem is they don't have anybody to be a lead like they did with Iron Man. Like they don't have anybody. Like especially with Spider-Man.
They were betting on Captain Marvel being the Iron Man.
I really don't think they ever did. They never had. She didn't even have a movie before that movie happened. Before Endgame, she didn't have a movie. There was never a bet on her.
That's because they wanted her to be the big surprise. She came out of nowhere. She kicked Thanos' ass. Now she's the greatest. Everybody cheer for her. Here's her own movie. Here's a show spinoff. Here's the sequel to the movie. All these other things. We're going to make sure everybody mentions Captain Marvel.
Well, they did the same thing with Doctor Strange then.
Marvel more times. I've heard Captain Marvel mentioned more times in the last 5 years of the MCU than I did for the first 38 years of my fucking life. And I read comics religiously. I even read Captain Marvel comics.
Oh, you mean after she became a much bigger character? You heard more about her? That's weird.
I'm talking about Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I'm talking about her. Like this version of Captain Marvel has existed for I literally don't know how long, but I know this version of the character from
this version of Captain Marvel was before the movies.
I'm aware. I'm talking about how long I've known her. Like, so I knew this character long before the MCU was sort of coming around, at least the way it became, because I found out about her from Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, because they had her whole storyline where she came in, they did Marvel, they did her. She never even did Miss Marvel or anything else like that. She basically went straight to being Captain Marvel. But, like, I knew about her from that, so it's not like this was my only introduction to the character. But, like, I completely disagree that they were ever banking on her being a core character. Like, maybe, like, she was going to be important like all the other six.
I'm not surprised that you don't agree with me, but after 23 movies, she's the only character that stopped the final villain, and then she immediately gets the big push afterwards. That is ridiculous that you don't agree with me. Disagree with me.
Except that
that's literally how the movie.
It's been 4 years since Endgame, and she finally got 2 sequels to the one movie. Doctor Strange has already had
That's
shit.
the same. Doctor Strange had 2. He was going to be the boy push, and she's the girl push.
Except that Doctor Strange
and then Doctor Strange flopped.
Except Doctor Strange had a big. Doctor Strange had
How
more
many
screen
of the
time
MCU
than her.
Shows, how many MCU shows have talked about Doctor Strange since Endgame?
Wanda Vision, basically. How many
So
have talked
one.
about Captain Marvel? One. The one show that her powers.
Miss Marvel's Secret Invasion and
2.
There was another one.
Oh, technically,
there was
What
another
If?
one. They talked about her in She-Hulk. They talked about her in She-Hulk and in What If.
When did they talk about her in
They
She-Hulk?
Go back. You know, I'm not going back to watch.
Oh,
that
you better
shit
go
again.
back and
They
find it.
1000% talk about
They talk
her.
about every character in
feel free,
She-Hulk.
because you love that show, so you feel free.
They
to go
talked
back and
about
fucking watch
all
it.
the heroes in She-Hulk, so that's not even an equal defense.
You love that show. You go watch it.
So
yes, it is.
Ant-Man.
I didn't say they only mentioned her. I said they mentioned her.
So Ant-Man has been relevant in the same way. Spider-Man's been relevant in the same way. Spider-Man's had more movies than both of those characters.
Oh, you're right. Whatever, I'm wrong. Fuck off.
Oh,
Next.
Doctor Strange was actually in Spider-Man.
You're right.
So he's actually had more screen time.
Doctor Strange is they're not going cosmic. They're going magic. So you're right.
They're going all of the above. That's the problem. They're going.
Next.
They're shotgunning. They're everything. They're multiverse. They're magic. They're cosmic. All at the same time.
Yeah.
Even Thor is now cosmic, not magic. There's no next. There is no
Thor
next.
was never magic. Thor was science.
No, it's magic.
They even said it from the very beginning. It was science, because they even talk about how when things get so close together, science and magic are indistinguishable with each other. They talk about it. It's science. It's alien
therefore
science.
it's all magic. Because nobody understands how it works. Therefore,
You're
it's all
right.
magic.
Spider-Man's magic.
Spider-Man's not. Doctor Strange is.
Yes, he is. We don't understand why a spider biting him gave him superpowers. So it's magic.
In universe, they know.
No, they don't. It's just science. Science is why it happens.
Yeah, that's science, not magic.
They're indistinguishable with each other. So it's magic.
Past a certain level, they're indistinguishable from each other.
No, it's magic.
No, it is all magic. Technically,
it's all magic.
Technically, Miss Marvel is magic.
Houdini's going to show up and be the one that saves everybody.
I just want Zatanna. Can she come into this universe to be better?
Not in the MCU.
No, I want her in this universe now.
No, touch Snuggies. You don't get her.
Crossover all the things.
Ruining their trash. Yeah, they got amalgamation. That's what we need.
I don't remember if actually amalgamation universe might be fun, but only if we get Darkclaw.
Which they won't. They'll do their version of it, so it'll be different.
I'm just waiting for Deadpool 3. That's all it is. That's the only movie I'm waiting for.
I don't even know about that, dude.
It's gonna be awesome, and I'm betting
out of their way to change too much stuff.
What do you mean? Like, that's a movie that has to cross universes, so it's gonna change everything.
No, but I'm saying they changed the characters too much. Like, he's not going to be Deadpool like he was in the first two.
Why wouldn't he be?
They can say it's rated R. Here's the difference between a G and a rated R movie. Smoke one cigarette. It could be a rated G cartoon movie. If one person smokes a cigarette, it's automatically rated R. So them going, oh, well, we're going to allow Deadpool to be rated R. That just means he says fuck 2 times. He says fuck twice in that movie, it's rated R. No matter how stupid the rest of the movie is. It's not going to be the same.
Pretty sure there's also going to be plenty of bloody violence in there too.
Probably played way down or done off screen or all kinds of goofy shit because it's busy. It's going to be Deadpool and he's going to be in one of his little trippy modes. And so instead of seeing blood and guts, he sees rainbows and butterflies and stupid shit like that. You watch and see.
Well, in some of the behind the scenes shots,
it's Disney. They will not allow it to not be least family adjacent.
I think you are absolutely wrong when it comes to Deadpool. If it was a rated R, if it was a rated R Avengers movie, yeah, you'd be right. It's Deadpool. They're not going to do that. If they do that, then they're lost by 100%. Because they've already shown behind the scenes.
Because they're going to get all the people. They're going to get all the people who like Deadpool to go see it, and then they're going to get people that let their kids watch it now too. Because it's finally. I love Deadpool so much, and I haven't been able to show it to my kids because those movies are super fucked and they're not for kids. But now Disney's made a family-ish version. I can let my kids watch it.
You can buy the heavily rated version of Deadpool 2 if you want.
I know there's people flat out that let their kids watch that shit, but they're human garbage, and I'm not okay with that.
Which is exactly why they won't do it. They've already, like, one of the behind the scenes shots they got of the on set was Wolverine obviously swinging at something that's not there, but then Deadpool body parts go flying. So at some point, they're literally filming him slicing and dicing Deadpool, like out in the open. So, I mean, like, there's part of it that's going to happen. And then another part where they've shown where he or somebody punches the shit out of Deadpool and goes flying through a concrete wall. So, I mean, they're still doing a lot of the uber violence. So there's that. And for anybody who's bitching about Hugh Jackman fucking wearing sleeves, he has a massive history of fucking skin cancer. So he's just covering up from the fucking sun. They'll probably remove that shit in post. Let's see here. Hold on. I'm still looking at updates. This fucking app keeps going off. It's past 3. Where the fuck is our update? But either way, no, I think Deadpool will be fine, and I also don't think that Captain Marvel is going to be the center of.
I think Deadpool will be fine. I don't think it'll be on the same level as the other two. I think they're going to Disney-fy it. They're going to get it as close to family friendly, and
I think
just enough Deadpool.
I think if they did that, Ryan Reynolds would quit.
I think you're full of shit.
No, I really think that
Ryan Reynolds likes playing Deadpool, and I think he likes money.
I think he makes enough money outside of making movies that he doesn't have to fucking worry about it. And speaking of making enough money, apparently I'm getting a raise. But like, I wasn't even worried about getting a giant raise. Whoop-de-doo, I already make more money than I need to as it is. I'll take more money. I didn't need more money. I sure as fuck think that.
Oh, so you can send the difference to me through PayPal.
No, you get paid more than I do. Fuck off.
I don't want you. You'd be surprised.
You make more money than me, so I wouldn't do that.
Probably.
I know you do, because you own a house.
I get paid a lot.
It's like, you own a house, therefore you already make more money than me.
No, that just means I have more debt than you.
I got plenty of that. But like, it's like I don't have as big a sum, but I probably have paid off a house by now. It's like all the debt I've paid off since I was 16. I could have had a house.
Remember, my wife just got a master's last year or the year before, so we got all that debt added on now too.
Yeah, that does suck that you married her while absorbing that debt. Because Jessica and I had a deal.
It's also gonna go away.
Yeah. Well, Jessica and I had a deal.
She's a public servant or whatever they call that shit. There's a loan forgiveness thing.
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
But she earned it. She earned it. I don't care about the whole political bullshit about everybody else wanting it. She actually does it. She's doing this job for almost 15 years. She's paid for it.
So here's my problem with all of the debt forgiveness stuff. If you just have a normal fucking college education and you just don't want to pay your fucking bills, fuck right off. Everyone's got to pay their shit. If you've been paying on your college loans forever and you still owe more than the original fucking
that's what you
debt,
have to do.
I know, but
it's not like it just goes away. We've been paying every month that she's been out.
No, I understand. But what I'm getting at is much like what she said with her parents, if you don't mind me mentioning this, that they basically have been in debt for 40 fucking years and have never been able to pay it off because of college loans or whatever. So here's the way I look at it. If you've already paid more,
because the interest rates
that's what I'm getting at. So freeze the interest rates. If you want to really do something, freeze the interest rates for 4 years. And if you've already paid more than your principal debt, then it's gone. So
those companies go out of business because that's how they make money.
And they deserve to go out of business because of what they did.
I understand. I agree with you. Yeah. I agree with you.
So, but that's I don't agree with my tax dollars going to pay off however many billions of dollars worth of fucking student loans for these idiots getting underwater basket weaving degrees. You know, you could have done anything else with your life.
But that's not how the debt forgiveness doesn't go to that. It has to be like hers is a public service. It's not that one that you're.
No, but that was their plan, was to literally fucking get rid of everything initially. But then also even doing it for the public servants. Okay, so how far does that have to go?
But they don't. Before you go too far with it, they don't get paid a lot, dude.
No, but this is a question.
Carol works.
No, but
admin and does not get paid.
Jessica works in the medical field. That's a public service. Does her shit just go away? Or is it because she doesn't work for a private service? Yes, but it's a public servant, period. But you are not.
It's a private service.
But you're not a government employee, is the word you're looking for.
That's it.
Government employees
get to have their company.
The government is a fucking private company. They just steal their money from everyone else is what they do. A publicly funded private entity is what the government is. Let's be honest here.
It's all shell game. They move this money from that one to that one. It's all that robbed Peter to pay Paul, and Paul never gets paid back, and Peter doesn't see his money anymore, and then somehow Chris pops up. It's crazy.
Yeah, and that's one reason why I said that either it's got to be all or nothing, because it's the bullshit about a little bit over here. So any doctor who's had their racked up $300,000 worth of fucking medical debt, but he's out there literally saving lives and curing cancer, he can't get his medical debt.
No, that's not the same. That's not the same. Hold on. Doctor's also making $200,000 a fucking year.
Okay, you didn't let me finish my point. That doctor can't get his fucking stuff erased because he's not a civil servant, which is also the word we're looking for. He
doesn't need it because he makes way more enough money.
Yes, but he also has an insanely high interest rate on $300,000. So it's going to take him.
Doesn't matter. He can also pay it off
eventually, because that debt starts as soon as you get out of school. Maybe, but how long do they have to intern with that debt?
No. It's 5 to 7 years for doctors to pay off their medical schooling. That's on a base low rate. Fucking.
I think you're making that shit up.
I'm telling you.
I'm pretty sure that's some horse shit.
Let me correct that. Depending on what kind of doctor they are. Like if they're a doctor who's doing children's feet doctor, they're probably not going to make as much money as a brain surgeon.
Exactly, but they accrue
you get
the
a brain
debt.
surgeon can pay their debt off. Their brain surgeon can pay their shit off in 10 minutes. Like their first check, they're like, oh, there goes my school bills.
In theory, because they also still have to fucking live life. That's the other problem. It's like, because they also tend to live large because they're fucking morons.
But they don't have to.
Yeah.
They choose to do that.
But I know, like, if I recall correctly, even...
So here's the difference is, Kara and I have been paying on our bills for fucking years.
Yeah.
And it'll never go away because we're just paying interest rates.
Yeah.
Like, it never, like $100 goes in, only $5 goes towards the principal. Everything else is just interest rate type shit. It'll take forever to pay that off. Yeah. She's never going to make enough money to pay that
I know. And that's why these predatory loans are horseshit. Because you can never make enough money to pay it off, and that's how they work. They're meant to fucking make people spend a lot of money they can never fucking pay off without somehow just getting some...
It's the same thing with cars. It's any kind of loan is like that.
Well, certain loans aren't like that, but other ones, yes. That certain low interest rate loans won't fuck you over and will let you actually pay the shit off. But if it's like I got so fucked on my first real credit card debt because I didn't know how interest worked, and I was just paying the fucking minimum for years, and then like the interest hit, and it went back almost to the fucking principal loan because it wasn't interest on the remainder, it was interest on the initial. So you really got to pay attention on that 0% interest nonsense, because the fine print down there will usually say that, oh, by the way, that $10,000 thing you bought with 0% interest, if you didn't pay that off in 3 years, we're going to charge you interest on $10,000, not what you have left, But like most people... The other problem is, like, half the reason car debt is the way it is because nobody pays their fucking cars off. They just trade them in upside down on something new, and they just dig deeper. It's fucking stupid. Like, I don't agree with that either. If I can't fucking, like, I've only had one new car ever. One. Everything else has been used and either paid cash for.
I've never owned a new car.
Yeah. And I never paid that bitch off either. I turned it in upside down because I needed out from under that fucking car note. I had to pay a fuckload more money for my next car. But the note was less, which turns into basically what happens with the fucking medical bills almost. Basically, you just keep rolling that debt elsewhere. And then, of course, they trick you with some of that shit. So, like with Jessica, while she was in school, again, they froze her fucking payment. So if you go back to school for a fucking year, they freeze your fucking payments. But you know what they won't freeze? The fucking interest. So now you've made no payments. And during COVID, they fucking compounded that shit because they're like, oh, nobody's making their money. We're just going to freeze this for a fucking while. You don't have to pay on that. So now Jessica has to pay, or is going to be paying, like a couple $100 a month on her fucking remaining fucking school note. When apparently that's more than I thought it was. I thought she was closer to 20. She's closer to 26. And so now she wanted a new car, and then she realized, no, I should pay off. So I was like, yeah, no shit. I was Because like I told her, it's like, look, I'm not going to absorb that debt. I'm damn near debt free. It's like, if not for the fact I had to buy this computer and went in the hospital, I would be debt free right now. Except for occasionally throwing a couple $100 on my credit card and then paying it off. I've been in debt since I was fucking 16. I'm 40. I'd like to fucking be able to save money effectively again for once, you know? And that's why I look at it. It's like, nobody's going to forgive my debts. You know, it's all bullshit I chose to do. Or it's car notes. Or it's fucking hospital. There's another thing you could help. Fucking help people who owe fuckloads of fucking medical debt. That would probably be a little bit more useful for a lot of people who didn't even go to college. Help people out with fucking ridiculous mortgages on houses that cost too fucking much, and then they're all basically fucking worthless. That's the problem with this monetary system we created. It's all based on money that doesn't exist, and you can just make up however much you feel like having, or charging people, I should say. And then to back that, you have to charge an insane interest rate to come up with faker money. It's like you get back more money than you ever loaned. And you didn't have that money in the beginning. Loans are made up money. You're paying back money that never existed, and you pay back more than you had. So the amount of fake money goes up every time. And when you've been paying on one debt for 40 years, and you still owe that debt, that's fucking retarded if you don't have a house to show for it. It's like, if you don't have a very large, expensive structure at the end of paying for something for 40 years, something went wrong, you know? That's just the way I look at it. Because it's got to start somewhere. Or it's got to go nowhere. It can't just be like, we'll float it. But then again, we're just going to send another fucking $50 billion to Ukraine anyway, so it doesn't matter. While Hawaii keeps burning to the ground. I know you don't tend to follow that shit, but the sheer amount of money we sent at the same time that they were dealing with the whole stuff in Maui with the fire, and they basically just wrote everybody who's had lost their house and everything they own, they gave them all $700. They sent $200 million to fucking Ukraine. On the same day. On the same fucking day. They're like, oh, by the way, that would have been like $1,200 for everybody instead of $700. It's like, we're sorry everything you ever known is gone. Here's $700 from the government. Hope you get better. What a fucking insult. What a fucking joke.
Sucks for them. I don't think we should be giving money to anybody.
I mean, if nothing else, we should at least be taking care of
Our
our own
national
citizens.
debts in the trillions, we should not be giving money to people.
No, but it's only...
If you're in the hole trillions of dollars, you don't have money to give.
Well, we're not in the hole. We just made that hole. We said the hole is this big, and we just made the hole bigger with our own words. It's like, we didn't have $1 trillion. We didn't have $17 trillion to give away. We just fucking came up with that. We're like, we made $17 trillion to give away, and we hope that somebody will give it back one day, which they won't, and then we'll just take it out of your paycheck every week or every day, however it looks. But the idea that the only reason we're sending billions upon billions of dollars, the main reason we're sending billions upon billions of dollars to Ukraine is because no one else will take our money right now, and we have to give it to someone.
Give it to us.
We can't give it to us because it does nothing to give it to us. That's the problem. The only way you give it to us is by cutting taxes, and that doesn't help what they want to do. But to keep the petrodollar going in any way, shape, or form, they have to give away billions. We were doing that before by forcing people to exchange their money to our money to buy things. But now that so many countries are not doing that, we have to give away billions because it's the only way anybody will spend our dollars elsewhere. The U.S. economy doesn't spend as much as they need to give away. It's like, we don't buy our own money. We give back our own money. It's fucking stupid. God damn it. I hate this globalist bullshit. Either way, I think that's a good place to end on globalist bullshit. It's just fucking stupid. Especially, I mean, like, we gave a lot of money, but we also gave a whole lot of stuff. So we've given over $100 billion worth of stuff and money. But the fact that we gave away $200 million on the same day that we only gave people who just lost everything in our own country. Not to mention, you know, they need FEMA in California and Nevada right now. And
yeah, but you keep saying the lump sum that we gave to Ukraine and individualized how some we gave away to break up over that many people.
Still, I mean,
you see what I'm saying?
I mean,
because you keep saying we sent $2 billion to Ukraine, but when they break that up over everything they got, everybody got like $5 of shit.
no, actually, per person, it was like 1,300. Like the actual, so
Cool.
So,
and they're a bombed out, war torn country. They should definitely get more money than Hawaii.
Yeah, that's not our country. Why are we sending them anything
Hawaii
for their
is not our
problems?
country.
Hawaii is our country.
They're not part of America.
Neither is Alaska, but we do that anyways. It's like Hawaii. Yeah. Hawaii is infinitely more our fucking country than Ukraine is.
I mean, not really.
By a long shot.
They're literally the same.
They're not.
I've never been to either one of them, so.
Yeah, so nothing exists to you, so it doesn't matter. Go to Hawaii.
That's right.
Go to
None
Hawaii.
of it affects me directly. Don't care.
I mean, I hear there's plenty of open real estate for sale in Ukraine. Go buy you some cheap land in Ukraine.
I don't care about anything. I'm good right here, sweating my swamp ass off in Florida. Everybody else's problem is their problem. People need to stop worrying about everybody else trying to fix shit for them and do it themselves.
Yeah, we don't do that.
No. Team America World Police.
If only. It's like we can't even do Team America World Bank anymore. It's like, let alone World Police. We stop policing the world. We're not policing shit. We send money and guns. Like,
we're literally doing that, policing that. We're literally doing that. That's the only reason why we're sending, because we're worried about what's going on over there.
Yeah, but we're not policing it. We're paying them to police it themselves. We're giving them our cop cars and say, hey, go police.
Semantics.
Go police. No, because
we're sending them shit to do stuff with that we should just not be doing.
No, we shouldn't. Then I agree. But what's the difference between doing Afghanistan and Iran and all that, where we actually did have troops? We don't have troops.
Done any of that shit either.
No, we shouldn't have. Oh, by the way,
I don't do war with other countries. I think we should. I think Vietnam should have been the warning to everybody to mind our own fucking business.
So speaking of the sheer amount of money we've sent Ukraine, so we were in Afghanistan for 20 fucking years, almost to the day, 20 fucking years. We have sent more money to Ukraine than we spent in 20 years of Afghanistan in less than a year and a half. That's crazy. Like, we built fucking bases. We built cities in Afghanistan, and we've spent less money there in 20 years than we've done in just Ukraine in just a year and a half. That's nuts. Like, either way, I'm done with it. It's just fucking nuts. I heard about that today. I was like, holy shit, that's crazy. I mean, we're talking not like a little. We're talking like billion-dollar differences. Like multi-billion-dollar differences over 1 year and a half versus 20. Maybe that's just inflation. I don't know. But, either way. Oh, fuck. We went from Blue Beetles not making enough money to us spending too much money in other countries. Just how it goes. Maybe that's also why we're not getting back as much money, because even internationally, we're not making back money on movies. Because China's not watching our movies anymore. Maybe we should have stopped making movies for the Chinese market. Maybe things would be better. Not have to wait on them to become like you mentioned, making billion-dollar movies. You don't have to make a billion-dollar movie. It's like, how about you make
that's corporate greed.
Yeah. It's like, you didn't need to
make
a
billion. It's the same thing with gas prices. Gas prices are the same thing. We've had that conversation before. These CEOs that run up the prices of oil, that run up the prices of gas, they're already making $5 billion a year.
Yeah.
They run up the price so that they can make $10 billion. What the fuck are you going to do with $10 billion that you couldn't do with $5 billion?
Buy another country.
There's nothing in this world that's going to cost you that much.
Well, there is, but it's nothing normal people can buy.
You can buy your own fucking islands in the Caribbean for like $1 million.
Yes.
What the fuck you need billions for?
To buy entire parliament.
You understand? Like, if I had $1 million to sit in my bank account, I could not go to work and survive the rest of my life on that shit.
Yeah.
$1 million.
Because,
$1 million.
Because you're an individual who doesn't need much. Because you also don't need power. You don't need to run shit. When you're making billions, the only place you spend that is buying entire countries. And the only way you do that is by buying their governments. And that's where billions of dollars get you.
But they don't need it. They want it. That's two different things.
No, but that's what they use it for. That's what it's for.
But they don't need it.
They're not going out and buying Lamborghinis.
They get. Yes, they are.
No, they're not. They don't care about fucking stuff.
Those crazy ass CEOs and all that shit. Yeah. That's all they. That's all those princes over there that own all that OPEC shit and all that shit over there. That's gold plated this and that's diamond studded that. Calm the fuck down.
That's the surface level But those people run countries. They don't fucking bother. Like they only need the shiny objects to look cool to the public.
So you think they're making $10 billion to put back into their countries? Go ask those poor.
I didn't say their countries. You don't buy your own country. You buy other people's countries.
But you don't. But you see what I'm saying? You don't need. That's the whole point. They could lower gas prices down to $0.25 a fucking gallon and still have hundreds of millions of dollars they're making every year. Yeah, but that's not good enough.
Yeah, you're still thinking on like Rikki scale. You got to think on I need to buy Europe scale.
I'm thinking on, but you don't need to.
You don't need
Those are
to.
Two different things.
They need to.
Nobody needs to buy. No,
yes, they do.
They want to.
That is how you rule the world, Rikki. You buy countries.
Oh my god!
Haven't you ever played Risk?
Yep.
You don't conquer with bullets. You don't conquer with bullets anymore. You conquer with dollars, and not even U.S. dollars anymore. Yeah. That's how we conquer the world.
The point is, they don't need it. They want it. They don't need it. They want it. In two different things.
Yeah, and they're losing because nobody wants oil anymore. They all had to go green agenda.
Plus, we all have our own oil anyway.
Oh, that'd be nice if we actually would do something with our own oil and all the rare minerals. Mm-hmm. Like if we
all that, I want to save my stuff up just in case. So I'll use up all your stuff. And you can charge me whatever. That is the stupidest argument I've ever heard about using our oil.
I don't even know if that was ever the truth versus what they just said. Like, just being honest, like that is like the most baseline bullshit because, like, I don't mean you, I mean them. Like, yeah, we're not going to use up our own oil because yeah, but it's like we're not going to use our oil.
Use all yours up for them 100,000 years from now when your oil's all gone. You guys will have to buy it from us, and then we'll charge you more, and then we'll be sitting pretty. That is the stupidest shit I've ever heard.
And that's why, then that is so unbelievable because the only reason we buy other people's oil is because we force them to buy or sell the oil in U.S. dollars. Like, the only way you can do anything with oil was through U.S. dollars. It's the only reason we did that shit. Because if we did it with ours, we'd only be making money. We wouldn't be fucking selling money. That's the difference. You sell your money, like I said earlier. That's the only. This country runs on selling its money. That's all it is. And if nobody's buying our money,
I have empathy for people having a hard life. I understand it sucks ass. I understand it's trash, but I understand something that somebody else doesn't. It's not my problem. It's not my business. Empathy does not mean I have to put myself in harm's way or destroy my life to make your life better.
No, you have to. It
just means I feel bad that it's happened to you. No,
that's the way it is. They don't like give up your house.
What their government's doing. They don't like what their government's doing. Change it.
Do you have any empty rooms in your house? Because there's homeless people that could use those rooms, Rikki.
Those homeless people can go get a fucking job.
They don't want a job. They just want your room. You should give it to them because you have more rooms.
Problem.
You have more rooms.
My problem.
But you have.
I got rooms for my figures.
But that's modern empathy. Give of yourself to those who won't try.
That's not empathy.
Houses are expensive, Rikki. You have one. Just let them have it.
Yep. Nope.
Come on.
Nope.
Wait, you got a spare vehicle? Let somebody have your car. You don't need it.
Nope.
No, you don't.
I won't even give you a ride for free. You're gonna give me gas money just to go somewhere.
I don't know about all that. I really do think that you should give up your stuff.
Like when I see like I saw, like, there's this one homeless lady that's always over on this corner, always making money.
Yeah.
I don't go for none of that shit.
Yeah, me neither.
But what I do, haha. But what I do is about a month or two ago, it was pouring ass rain and she was still sitting out there. So I rolled my window down and I handed her my spare umbrella out of my truck and I gave it to her. She could sit there and ask for money all day long. I did my part by keeping her out of the rain. She wants to sit out there, that's her business. Other people want to be dumb enough to give them money, that's their business. These people make thousands of dollars a week doing nothing. I don't owe anybody nothing.
Yeah.
I got to take care of me and mine. I don't got to take care of nobody else.
No, you got to give everything you have to people who don't.
That's harsh sounding and that's mean, and I don't give a fuck because I'm actually one of the nicest, and I will give you the shirt off my back. But I ain't giving you anything that I had to hard for. A shirt is not the same thing as me giving you my house.
But you should. Everything. Money. You need to give away your money, your car, because you've had it so easy your whole life that all these lesser people you should just give what you have to people who couldn't. Dude, because you were so privileged, Rikki. You don't understand.
Oh, let me go get my homeless shelter card out of my wallet that I've had in there for 20 to always remind myself of where I never want.
But Rikki, you've got
those
that.
People can all go fucking.
You got that white man privilege.
Yeah, well, I'm still waiting for that to kick in because I've got plenty of tickets. No, that shit ain't never gone away.
No, but everything was so easy for you. I'm cutting this out, by the way. Not the empathy part, but just this part. But yeah, that's either way. I'm done with that. It's fine. Well, shit, it's 4:00 already. I gotta go. I didn't realize how late it had gotten. But either way, fuck. I haven't had anything to drink in like an hour. I'm fucking running out of throat here, so to speak.
I've gone back 3 times.
Yeah.
Because when my camera goes off, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to the
I know.
kitchen.
I can hear you go in the kitchen. Talking. It's fine. No, my problem is I can't just get up and go. I should have brought a bottle of water in here with me because I'm an idiot. It's fine. We got to go grocery shopping tonight.
Cold. So good.
Fuck off. All right. So either way, guys, let us know what you think about the state of movies and TV shows and whether or not Marvel should just give up. Also,
it's all trash.
Also, global economics.
That's all trash too.
Yeah, we should focus on ourselves. Maybe fix some problems we have instead of worrying about everyone else's.
What's that? The splinter in your own eye before the plank in your own eye before the splinter in somebody else's type bullshit. Whatever that shit was. That.
What the hell?
Everybody should start minding their own goddamn business.
Was something just making noise in the background?
The wind's blowing.
I just heard something.
I don't know how you would hear that.
I don't know what the fuck I just heard. That was such a weird noise, and it was only in my right headphone, so I don't know where it was coming from. Either way,
COVID stroke.
Maybe. Since I still don't know what's wrong with me, and I have no idea when my CT scan results are going to come back, so it almost sounded like something ringing or an ice cream truck or something. It was a really weird fucking noise, but nothing was
definitely
ringing.
Not from my end.
Yeah, but it was like only on this side. That's why I was like, what the fuck? I'll have to listen back and see if it actually came through or it was something on my end because maybe it was like air trapped in my fucking thing. I don't know.
Literally all in your head.
Could be. That's where I keep my air.
It's in your hair.
No. Very no. Either way, guys, like, subscribe, do all the thingies. All our links are in the description down below, and I just mean me and Rikki because nobody else is here. New rules. If you're not here, you don't get links.
We're gonna put Sean's links in just to fuck with y'all. All Sean's dead links that lead to nothing.
I don't even know if I have his links anywhere. Oh, I need to fix my links, by the way.
Go back to one of the old episodes and just copy them.
I have to go all the way back to like fucking episode 10.
Episode 2.
I think episode 10 is the last place I had him. But
yeah, well, I know he's on 2 because 3 is when I covered.
Nah, yeah, you covered, but he quit after 4. So, either way,
that's what I'm saying. So episode 2 will definitely have him.
I guess. Fuck, I'm tired. I'm gonna go take a nap before Jessica gets home.
I already took a nap right before we recorded. It was awesome.
I know. I was jealous. I was trying to take a nap in the truck on the way back. It wasn't working out too well. There's a freeway and whatnot. It's hard to take a nap. So, driving. Guys, we'll see y'all next time. And with that,
we won't see you. You'll hear us next time.
Well, if you're on the Patreon, you'll see us. Sign up for the Patreon.
I won't see. Again, we won't see y'all, but y'all will see us.
I see them because I have a Patreon thing tomorrow night. So either way.
I don't.
Yep. Well, you should join us on the Patreon one night.
No.
Come on. Come in and join in the chat. Come hang and talk out with people.
Yeah, okay.
Hang out and talk with people.
Yeah, you send me the link. I'm all over that shit. I ain't paying shit to come on and talk to people.
Why not?
No.
Yeah, you can come talk with the subscribers.
No. I'm part of the show.
All
I get in for free or I don't get in.
Whatever. Bye, guys.
Bye.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats.